All right. So let's crack this other beer. We're already a beer deep. Welcome to Alfredo's Size 3 Taco Truck, a Marvel Crisis Protocol podcast. The only podcast that is going to answer the question, is Pat a better kisser than Alex? I'm Vincent Curkov.
I'm Pat Van Value.
I'm Nate Horn.
I don't remember what order we go in. Sorry, I'm Alex.
I also wasn't really sure, so I responded
It's me, Pat, Alex, Nate, right?
I don't know.
It's in order of height. We solved this last time.
Oh. But I thought
it must be me, Alex.
We came
Pat,
to is we don't know what order that is.
The top and the bottom, and we don't know the middle two.
Listeners, write in the comments of this YouTube video, because you're watching on YouTube, right, where I make money and nobody else makes money. And you write
no
in the
other
comments,
money is made anywhere. If you want to give Vince money, if you want to give anyone money, watch it on YouTube.
PayPal him.
Yeah. Write in the comments, what order would you like us to do the intro in next week?
That's a great idea, actually, yeah.
All right. Nate, what are we talking about? / do we have any interesting news or announcements?
Boy, interesting is a good word for it. Yes. So, announcement.
Adepticon happened.
Hooray! Adepticon was great. But before we get to that, squad goals. We have squad goals news that's big and weird and different. So I got an email that Pastimes, their annex space was burglarized and then also vandalized past the point of usability, and that they were going to try to see if they can find a space for us to see what they can do, but weren't really optimistic they'd be able to do that given the time we have, which understandable. I don't blame Pastimes, but we had to find a new venue so we could try to get something booked quickly, because the worry was that if people start buying plane tickets and then Pastimes can't find a new spot, everything's fucked. So we scrambled around and we found a new LGS in Chicago that I think opened like last November or something.
Yeah, they're fairly new.
Yeah, very new. Called Second City Games. Their address is on the Squad Goals website at squadgoalsmcp.com. It's like further north of where Pastimes was, but only a couple minutes further from the airport due to the magic of highways. So if you have a hotel, check where your hotel is. It might still be close enough that you're fine to keep it. You might want to find something closer. But it's in the same general Chicagoland area. It's probably some different neighborhood, but close enough that it shouldn't be a big difference for most of the attendees.
Yeah, it's in Highland Park instead of Niles.
Great. Yep, not in Midtown.
Or Uptown.
So the cool things about the venue is that it is a BYOB space. So if you would like to drink a little bit while playing Marvel, you're allowed to do this at this venue. I believe Pat went and scoped it out, and it's also like above a wine shop, right? You were saying?
This is my understanding. I didn't go in the wine shop, but that's what I was told.
Okay. So you can bring some stuff. You might be able to buy some stuff downstairs, but I think that is kind of a cool benefit that harkens back to other taco events that were in breweries. We get to keep a little bit of that vibe, which is cool. We get a lunch break again. So the schedule on the squadgoalsmcp.com website has been updated to account for the fact that we can have just a normal schedule again. So it's going to be the same as previous years with lunch breaks both days. So that's exciting. The downside to the venue is because it's a newer space that he still sounds like he's getting set up and is planning to expand further. He doesn't have room for a normal size of squad goals. So for this year, we had to set the cap at 18 teams because that was all of the table space that he could guarantee we would have available. At the time of this recording, we have sold 18 tickets. So that worked out coincidentally very well. And we didn't have to tell anyone, I'm so sorry, but you may not come. So if you have a ticket, you are good to go. You are locked in. If you aren't sure that you can go or can't go, please let us know as soon as possible so we can get people off the wait list. There is a wait list being formed. If you would like to be added to it, either email the Squad Goals account or DM me on Discord. We already have 2 teams on the wait list who were like planning to buy a ticket today and then saw the announcement, and I felt really bad about it. So if you're not going to be able to make it, let us know, because getting teams off the wait list is harder for this type of event than it is for like a second wind, right? Because then it's like when I pull someone off, all 3 of those people have to double check, make sure they can get, arrange transportation, arrange lodging, all of that kind of stuff. So figure out if you can go or not as soon as you can to help everyone else out. But as I mentioned, if you have a ticket, you're locked in, you're good to go. Nothing you need to do there.
Yeah. I'm excited that they were able to take care of this for us. And
Yes.
the guy that owns this game shop has gone to Second Wind before, which is how we found this place.
Mhm.
It was very helpful. We were this venue was hooked up for us by he who shall not be named, Jordan Knock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Jordan texted me and was just like, "I hear you're looking for a venue."
He who shall be named.
He who shall be named. I'm bad at what? No, I'm the Harry Potter of our group.
What does that mean? to you?
What?
It
is
means that
yeah.
the person that invented me is scared of trans people.
That might be true of me. Too. I haven't spoken to my parents about it, I guess.
But anyways, yeah. So the venue owner stepped up to really help us here. Is also cutting us a very nice deal, kind of price wise as well. So we're very appreciative of that. Should all be able to work with kind of, only 18 teams. Our budget a little bit smaller than previous years, but shouldn't be a problem. I think all of that's going to work out just nicely. I know I have to argue with Pat about figuring out where we're going to set up the streaming stuff, but hopefully we can figure that out, because I would still like to stream this, but in a new space that's not the biggest space, that can get complicated. So we'll see what we can do there. But
We're just gonna get a GoPro and strap it to Nate's forehead and follow
I
him
was going
around
to say,
the
we got to
outside.
do this with phones. We got to do.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be awesome.
you have your fancy camera set up. Remember how fancy it was last year at Squad Girls?
Yeah, and I don't want to carry it all. I can
I'll
just strap,
carry it.
strap the GoPro to you.
Oh, we can have a judge
We'll figure
cam,
it out.
just like a little like in the corner, like there's the 2 commentators, and then normally where the second commentator would normally be, because they're on
Yeah.
a separate camera, we use the same overlay, and it's the judge cam, and it's just like Nate running around.
It's definitely, yeah. You can watch me knock models around on tables as I'm trying to do.
Well, especially because you're like trying to
measure.
measure with one hand and
Yeah.
film it with the other.
Oh, I just assumed it
No
would be
additional
like taped to
pressure.
his chest.
No. He's got to do the cinematography as well.
Oh boy.
All right. So you're welcome, everyone. I saved Squad Goals.
You did. You were a big help. So
It definitely wasn't a group effort. I did it by
the
myself.
middleman to saving a squad goal.
I mean, you're the middleman who got us the first venue too. So you're just doing your job.
Mr. Venue.
And then, so with this happening this year, it does look like next year we're going to try to see if we can make Squad Goals happen in a hotel. We have found one that was looking promising this year, but then kind of ran out of time to get it nailed down. But I do think we want to be able to transition to a ballroom space where we can have the full complement of teams, even if we sell out. And, we do get a little bit of those vibes of collecting all or most all of the players in one place for hangout type stuff that always happens at WTC. So stay tuned for that. No guarantees, but I do think for 2027 Squad Goals, we're going to see if we can make that jump into a bigger space there.
The most exciting part about that is that we will almost certainly be forced to purchase event insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so then if they get broken in and vandalized, they'll refund us, which will then just turn around and hand everybody their money and their reservations and stuff back or whatever, right? But then we get to keep all the price support we bought.
Vince, we were supposed to discuss our insurance fraud plan off the
That's not insurance fraud.
Well, Vince might have left out the part where he
insurance.
was going to vandalize it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I thought this was my part of the, because I haven't really been doing much
I know we
this
weren't going to
event,
do it
so-
ourselves. I just assumed our bad luck would just strike again.
It has been a dumb year for venues, let me tell you.
Yeah.
My favorite Ren Fair that's in Tahoe lost their campground. Nothing I like can have a venue this year. Everybody's getting fucking booted.
If you own a venue and you want it to close, invite Nate.
Unless it's on Carg Island, and then we're gonna pass.
Card Island.
Never mind. We're gonna go past it. I shouldn't have made this
No,
joke. I'll bleep it. Pat got it. Audience of one. Anyway,
Great.
what are we talking about?
So hold on. There is one last bit of squad goals things. Is that so? With 18 teams, we are now having a debate on the format. Right.
Oh, right.
It is going to be 5 rounds guaranteed. Right. If you show up to squad goals, we're going to get you 5 games. That is kind of set in stone. Really, the question we have is if there's a single undefeated team at the end of round 4, do we say they will get the trophy for winning the event and then we'll play another round for all the other stuff? Or do we just play 5 rounds straight through and the winner is whoever's ahead on, if there's 0 undefeated teams at the end of the event, then the winner is decided by strength of schedule. I've seen opinions about this both ways on our Discord. If you have an opinion, go on our Discord and share it with us, because I don't think we're going to make that decision today. But that is kind of the one complication of 18 teams is figuring out who gets the cool Frelinger trophies.
There's 2 undefeated teams at the end of round 5 with 18 teams. We have screwed up.
I said if there's 2 at
there's
the end
0.
of 4 or
got
0
it.
at the end of 5.
Got it. Sorry.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah. So my vote is that at the start of the event, everyone writes down a a grudge match, I want to challenge this team, and then we try to just pair up as many people that wrote each other, or just try to make as many of that stuff happen in the last round, and we have it not count.
Okay. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I
I'm
do
not playing,
like grudge matches as an idea. It is one of those things that's some teams, the teams who have grudges will have a good time with it, and then other teams maybe not. You know what I mean? And then figuring out the best way if there's like a bunch of people that all want to fight one team. If everybody wants to beat up the meat men because nobody likes the meat men, how do we determine who gets that match and what do you do with the other ones? It's complicated, but I do like that idea, right? And I think that's probably one of the top 2 ideas we've heard. But I am curious just to I think largely it won't come down to our preferences, but what the players seem to want. You know what I mean? Especially since with 18 teams, it's kind of a little goofy this year regardless. So I think weight of public opinion matters quite a bit here.
Yeah, because we're incredibly unlikely to go 5 rounds, right? It's very unlikely. At 18.
Yeah.
It's like if the pair down ever wins, we don't. And they'll have 2 opportunities to do it or something like that, or 2 or 3 opportunities.
Yeah, you'll have a pair up after round 1.
Yeah.
So
they'll have 3 opportunities to do it, and essentially the pair down has to lose, or the pair up has to lose every single game.
Yes, if the pair up ever wins in the 3 rounds, then.
But that's also how second win went 7 rounds one year. The year we had 84, and then I realized I didn't ever want to do that ever again.
Cool. Okay, I think that's all the squad goals news we have. Now we're going to talk about Adepticon, which is mostly going to be me rambling about Adepticon for a while.
Yeah, because you're the only one who really attended.
Yeah.
What? I'm the only one that didn't attend.
I mean, Pat and I just showed up. We played a game of Arcs. We shook some hands, did some business deals, and left.
We made Nate stop playing Marvel.
We did make Nate stop playing
I
Marvel.
made me stop playing Marvel.
Yeah, but I think it's funnier if the people think I hate Marvel and don't even want you to play it.
You just showed up and be like, hey, I saw you lost. Fucking drop.
Yeah, get out of here.
Yeah. Tell us about Adepticon, Nate.
Sure. So I think I've been to a bunch of cons. I've been to Adepticon a couple of years. I've been to LVO a couple of years. I've been to non-miniatures cons, but those don't really count here. I think this Adepticon was the best convention I've ever been to.
Hell yeah. Good job, Hank.
It's great. Yeah. Really, there's 2 ways to improve it. and we'll talk about both of those, right? One, there's some issues with the format because AMG always likes to make weird, goofy formats, but we'll talk about that. And two, Vince wasn't there. You fix those two
Sad.
problems, and it would have been perfect. The new venue is incredible, right? They have
Yeah,
so
it's
much
really
more
nice.
space, right?
Yeah.
Everything is roomier. Even the big ballrooms, you know, people are spread out enough that it doesn't feel as like oppressively loud as some of those old Adepticon rooms could be, right? Where there's just so many people crammed in there all talking. It can get really loud and uncomfortable, which didn't really happen here. The food options are kind of insane for this type of event. I
Yeah.
think this was probably my favorite change from the Chicago space is that they invited a bunch of local restaurants to just set up little like food tents, just like functionally a food truck, but indoors, where they can sell their own stuff. And so like I had bulgogi. That was really good. I had a poke bowl, and I was very skeptical of Midwestern convention fish, and it was all right. I would eat it again. It's not like the best fish I've ever had. I'm not going to tell you it was amazing, but I enjoyed myself eating fresh fish at Adepticon, which is really weird because anyone who went to the Schaumburg venue will let you know your options are off. It's just fried everything, the worst
Fried
chicken
chicken
fingers.
pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Yeah.
And they had that there. If you like that stuff, this venue also had that, right? Like the convention had its own things inside the ballroom serving that type of food, but just the little food tents outside were amazing. And it was a big upgrade in that way. Having the hotel connected by a sky bridge was really nice. It's a shorter walk here than it was for LVO at the Rio, which is really funny to me because that's theoretically all one building.
Yeah, that is funny.
It was sort of funny because I think I I've parked in the same lot both times I've gone to it, the new location for one day.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure like parking in a completely separate lot and walking 3 blocks is still closer than like some of the parking lots on site at the old place.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, all of the Milwaukee-ness of it aside, obviously it'd be easier if it's in Chicago because then I can crash on Patch's account and save a bunch of money. But outside of just like the easy travel to the venue, everything else about the spot is just an upgrade. It was really cool. I thought I had something else I was going to say about logistics of it. And now Vince is distracting us with funny pictures in the group DM.
Everybody listening, turn on your group DM for squad goals. What the fuck is this podcast called? Alfredo Size 3 Taco Truck. So
I mean, I'll
can see
sell
the
access to the group DM.
Do not do that.
Jail.
Yeah, I don't know. The venue was dope. My favorite Adepticon moment. I'll just get mine out of the way really quick.
Oh sure, yeah.
There for like
'cause you guys were there for a day.
Yeah, my favorite Adepticon moment was we met a friend of ours, Zach Poulos. You know who you are. And he had a friend whose name I forgot. Sorry, Zach Poulos' friend. You also know who you are. Who we were talking. You, Nate, were going to meet the Muse guys at the Judgment room. Because they were playing a Judgment tournament earlier in the day. And we thought that the Judgment tournament was still ongoing. So we were talking about Judgment and we were like, damn, I can't believe there are people playing Judgment. Like huge there's like enough to play a tournament. I think it was just like 12 people or something, but that's enough to play a tournament. And then Zach and his friend come over and his friend is like, yo, you guys are talking about Judgment? I own that entire game, but I've never actually played it. I've never even seen it played. And we were, we were joking and laughing. We were like, that's happened to so many people. That's basically happened to Pat. Like Pat has played, but you don't play a lot. And like tons of people bought into the hype of that game and never got it on the table, which is, the story of so many tabletop games. So then we were like, well, we're going up to the Judgment room. Why don't you come with us? Go up there. We'll go check it out. You can see what it looks like on the table. It's going to be awesome. And he was like, holy shit, there are people playing Judgment here? That's amazing. Yeah, I want to go. I want to see it. Maybe I could even get a pickup game or something. So we walk up there and we're talking about it the whole time. We're like, he's like, I can't believe it. I can't believe people are still playing this game. It's been years. And then we walk in, totally empty. No one is playing Judgment. There's a big Judgment sign and some backpacks that have been abandoned, and that's fucking it. And he was like, exactly what I expected. And then he left, and then like 10 minutes later, the Muse guys showed up, and they were like, "Oh yeah, the tournament ended like 3 hours ago."
Incredible. Was it Tony?
Very good.
Zach's friend. I
Yeah.
don't actually know if he said his name, but also
I didn't catch it if he did.
Yeah,
I missed it.
All right. fair
Tony
enough.
seems like a name that guy could have. I agree.
Well, the Tony I'm thinking of, he looks like a Tony.
I could see him being Tony.
All right.
Vince, what was your favorite Adepticon moment?
My favorite Adepticon moment was when Nate came back with gifts for me from Adepticon, in which I was informed that I won our game of Arcs because while you guys were playing Arcs, a very kind vendor walked past you and threw a card game at you.
Oh yeah,
was like, this goes to the winner of your game, and now I own that. So I must have won your guys' game of Arcs.
Congratulations.
You smashed it.
And then he also brought me the new Vallejo True Metallic Metals, which I have been having a very good time with and are effing crazy. And I hate metallics. I hate metallic paint, and I like these.
I was gonna say, I thought you don't do metallics.
I don't, and I don't like metallic paints, and like these are incredibly palatable to me in comparison.
So what makes why don't you like metallic paints, and why do you like these metallic paints? Explain them to me, a painting idiot.
So like metallic paints have like weird properties in a bunch of ways.
Like they're metallic.
Like well, so obviously like the main thing is that they're metallic, right? And they have little flakes of metal in them.
So far. Yeah.
Right. But they just don't behave like normal paints. Like sometimes they have really good coverage, sometimes they have really bad coverage. Sometimes you paint with them and you feel like they have really good coverage, only to like for them to dry and then to have no coverage.
You know, I really am a painting idiot, and I have never painted a model well in my life, and I still notice that when I have painted, like with metallics. I've been like, this keeps changing when it dries, or it just like I have to use it differently than the non-metallic paints that I use, I guess.
And then like the ways in which you can mix metallics is really limited. So like I want paint to be brighter. You can put white in it. Like you can't do that to metallic paints. Like it doesn't work.
Right.
But like confusingly, you can add dark to them and it works. So like a lot of times, like previously how I painted metallics is I have a very, very shiny metallic ink that I use. And I shade down. Is how I had previously done metallics. And now these metallics have shown up and they're a really simple system. So like Vallejo's big push in the last couple of years has been the BSL system, base shade layer, or something like that.
Okay.
And I think it should be base shade highlight, but whatever. So essentially the paints come in a base. This is your base coat. You paint the whole thing this color. And then you have a shade, which is like a like translucent paint that has its capillary action set to like flow into the recesses. And so then you just like soak the thing in this. Okay. And then you use the highlight and you pick out the edges and it looks great. I sent you guys some videos of me painting a sentinel.
All right, now send them to every listener.
I'll get right on that. We'll put I'll put them in the video for sure. Go watch on YouTube
channel. So if you join our Discord and go to the Hobby Foyer channel, you can see these there too.
Oh, okay.
And they're just like, so the normal metallic I don't think is like that. It's very good. It's like on the highest end of the metallics I've used, which is funny because the highest end metallics that I've used were already a Vallejo. And these are like a little bit better than the set I already owned, but then their colored metallics are out of this world. Like colored metallics essentially have always been trash and they're not trash now, which is cool.
I see.
So I just paint
someone who has a lot of brightly, some might say garishly painted things and likes his bright and colored metallics. These are by far the best. Like I've tried a lot of the other lines of colored metallics and I got 2 of their purples, a blue and a gold and a silver out of their range. And I've used all but the silver so far, and they're great. Like if you saw my Ironmonger at Adepticon or also in our Hobby For You channel, he's just the purple as a base layer. I ran out of time to even doing the shade and the highlighting, and he still looks quite good. And people were like, "Oh damn, that rules!" So especially if you care about cool colored metallics, these are now the best in the business.
Yeah, and I very poignantly don't paint with metallics, but I've like for my Marvel stuff because my painting style is like very cartoony, and I kind of steer into that, and I do lots of non-metallic metal. Plus, I enjoy the technique, but like on something like a Sentinel, I'm not going to paint non-metallic metal on a Sentinel,
especially when it's my Sentinel.
Yeah, especially when it's a commission. Like you even if you have the cash, it's a bad idea to pay me to do non-metallic metal all over Sentinel.
Yeah, no, I would like to have the Sentinel back sometime in the next 2 years. So
yeah, exactly. And I sat down and I painted like the head of a Sentinel an hour and the chest of the Sentinel in another hour, and they look incredible. Like I'm really, really happy with it. And they were better to use than most metallics. They still have some of the same problems. Like I get a little bit of bubbling if I'm not careful in the paint as you apply it.
Mm-hmm.
But otherwise, it's been really good. And, it's an aspect of my painting that I'm like, is somewhat of a blind spot for me. So it's been fun.
That's
so
that was
Vallejo, if you're listening, please reach out to Vince.
I would love to be sponsored. Good Lord, I will change what my entire channel is about if that's what you want. Give me an entire set of free paint, please.
Oh, cool. And Pat, what was your favorite Adepticon moment?
What was my favorite Adepticon moment?
When you lost to me in ARCs.
I mean, I didn't feel like I lost to you. It felt like I got obliterated by Alex Bots. I had a turn where I was not allowed to play the game specifically.
That was the most one-sided game of ARCs I've ever seen. He fucking thrashed us.
And then taking all of the cards I needed to stop him.
Awesome. That card,
which was great,
or whatever, seems too good to me. But happy to have drawn it.
I think my best Adepticon moment was not spending $700 on Starcraft.
Hell yeah. We clapped. We applauded. Everyone yelled.
Yeah. It took a lot of restraint, even though I don't really like the models, and I don't know anything about the game. And I definitely don't want to paint it. So
they really missed an opportunity by not making them pixelated like StarCraft 1. I think you would have bought all of them.
That's what I'm saying.
Like StarCraft 1.
Well, Pat, if you want to change
round
your mind
bases
about that, I can solve one of those problems for you.
You're going to paint his whole StarCraft thing?
I was for $700. Sure, I will paint $300 of StarCraft for $700.
It was like $700 of models.
Was it really? Oh, you were going to buy the entire line. Wait,
how many factions do you need?
Wasn't that just $600? It was like that would have been like $500, wasn't it? Because it was 3 factions that were.
I thought it was like
69 each.
100 and change plus tax.
I think Pat's right.
Tip.
A bunch of the YouTubers that I follow got the StarCraft stuff from the company, and man, some of the Protoss stuff is really up my alley. But also some of it is very not like I think the Stalkers or whatever the new Dragoons are called.
Yeah.
Are really good look. I really like those, and I would happily paint those. And then I think like the Adepts, I'm like, nope, no thanks, I'm good. I don't want to play this game.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of, I've heard that take from a lot of people, and I think StarCraft had a huge booth there, so we're looking at their stuff, and yeah, I think a lot of people kind of land in that where like their sculpts they really like and are excellent, and their sculpts they really don't like, and it seems to have kind of a wide range there in, I don't want to say quality, but just like opinion. I don't know. It's like stuff I liked, and then like you look at the fucking Goliath, and the Goliath looks awful. I don't know what they were thinking with that thing.
I don't remember what the Goliath looks like. Like
it probably looks exactly like the.
It doesn't is the thing, or at least it doesn't look like my memory of a Goliath. But maybe I'm also pixelated.
I thought all
you're doing the pixelated memory thing.
I thought a lot of the Zerg stuff looked good. The
Zerg was definitely the best consistent
Yeah.
I think.
If
Yeah.
I would play them like I played Zerg in StarCraft 2, I'd just make a million roaches and not really think about it. I don't actually know if you're even allowed to do that in the tabletop game, but
The
it looks
Goliath looks
okay.
like
I
how
mean,
I
it's like
remember it. I mean, it
this is
looks
what StarCraft
bad.
looks
but- oh yeah, never mind. I'm seeing a better, higher quality photo of this thing.
looks fine. It looks I guess actually so okay, I said it looked like StarCraft. I've now compared it to StarCraft Goliath, which is its full legal name. And I'm noticing that actually it looks pretty different. You're right.
Yeah, like it's just whatever. We're not a StarCraft podcast.
We could be though.
Unfortunately.
Imagine.
Yeah.
This game we're all clearly very excited about. Yeah.
Oh. All right, Nate. I guess
Yeah.
you can talk about Adepticon now.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about some Marvel events. So the first event on Thursday was the team event two-headed giant thing, right? So it's 2 players on a team. You bring a roster of functionally 14 models. The threat is increased by 4. You deploy your roster, you split it in half. Each player controls one half of it. I think the format is really fun, and I had an absolute blast getting to do this with Graham. I do think some parts of the format are a little silly, like the who controls what model. We pretty much stopped paying attention to midway through turn 2 of game 1, and it was just, is it on the left side of the table? You reach over and get it. If it's on the right side of the table, I will do it. And it's whatever, you know what I mean? I think that's not really important to the strength of this format.
Yeah.
This might have been my highlight of the whole weekend. I'm having a hard time picking what my actual favorite thing is, but this was so fucking cool in, I think, a unique way that I think a lot of people end up approaching these team tournaments incorrectly now that I've seen it done correctly, right? Which is that most people, when they sign up for this event, are just going to sign up with one of their friends, right? Probably somebody they play with a lot, right? Like I was telling people, if Vince was at Adepticon, I probably would have been on a team with Vince. And you know what? I would have had fun. It would have been a good time. And I would have learned a lot less about Marvel, right? Because the thing about playing on a team with Vince is every time it's our turn to activate, I fucking know what he's going to say. Right? Like I know how he approaches the game. I know how he thinks about the game. We're talking about a line of play. I know how he's going to evaluate it. And it's pretty similar to how I'm going to evaluate it. Right. And so, there'll be little things that we disagree on catch here or there. But I think if you're going to do a team tournament and expand your brain as much as possible, you should find someone who, you think is smart and is good at the game. So you're not going to like bicker, but someone you don't normally play with. Right. There was a lot of stuff playing with Graham where it's like, we just see the game kind of differently. And even in situations where I don't agree with his take, it helped me see lines of play that I don't think I would have thought about myself normally. Right. And just kind of like, it's nothing huge, but just like the relative risk of diving a black cat at this point in time in this situation. Right. We were arguing about like fallback versus sacrifice. Because in our world rosters, I had sack and he had fallback, and playing those games with him, I switched my world roster to have fallback because it convinced me that no, fallback is great, right? And I got to sell him on Cruel Tutelage and Agent Widow, which are 2 things I think are really good for Kingpin that he wasn't really doing. And by then, the 2 games Agent Widow hit the table, she was the fucking MVP by a country mile, which felt great. It's really nice to be like, here's my sales pitch. And it's like, yep, that was really cool to see. And that's just kind of one of those things too, that's like a unique experience that could only happen at a con, right? Because you need a certain mass of people to have a 2-headed giant event even fire, right? You need twice the normal number of players. You can't really do that at your local. Also, your local is probably going to be filled with people you talk about with Marvel with all the time. And so, I kind of stumbled backwards into getting to play with Graham because his usual guy that he plays with wasn't there. Was another. He told me why, and I don't remember what it was. But it was a fucking blast, and I really did feel my knowledge of Marvel and like how other people play the game growing in ways that I don't know how else you'd replicate that experience, right? For anyone who's listened to this podcast since Guild Ball, right? We did a video called the Bird Bots Challenge where we made Alex bots, play the game blindfolded. And this was like one of the most popular videos Vince ever had on his channel, because once you blindfold him, he has to explain his thought process for every decision he's making, right? And so it's like the most direct window you had into Alex Bots' mind on how he thinks about his activations in Guild Ball and how he evaluates decisions. And it's
Which,
really helpful.
if you haven't listened since Guild Ball, at the time, getting a window into my mind was considered a privilege. So.
And so this just had I had a similar experience here that I did there, which is just like when you're talking about all your decisions, you really get to see in a new level how someone else thinks about the game of Marvel.
Yeah, that's super cool. That sounds fun. I also think that this is like a different direction for it, but I always think when they have these two-headed giant challenges or events or whatever, if they wanted to make it more fun, they should do like bridge rules where you can't talk to your teammate during the game. You just have to alternate activations, and you can activate whatever. Like, I wouldn't do the thing that they have where each model is assigned to one person. I would say you can activate whatever within the normal rules of Marvel, but you cannot speak to your teammate at all once the game starts. I think that would be another fun way to do that. But that would not get the benefit that you're talking about. You wouldn't learn anything about how your teammate thinks, really. You would just get really mad at them. But
you'd have to intuit it from their expression. Of
you'd learn something about what they think, which is that they don't. But yeah.
I was making this pitch to a bunch of people at like dinners after the event and stuff.
Oh, nice.
And like just kind of evolving that idea. And we got to the point where like, to make sure you can't even like influence your partner by going like, you have to just turn around and face the corner.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, while your partner's playing, you just have to stare off into space. You flip back around and be like, what the fuck? Where did all our tactics cards go? And your friend's like,
I played all of them. You're welcome.
I think
Can't help
that'd
but
be a
notice
fun
you.
event that, like a lot of novelty formats, would be fun for one game, and then you'd have your fill of that type of thing.
Well, there's also the what is it called? It's like a chess format called like Hand and Head or something like that. Do you guys know what that is? No, that one's very fun too. I've actually done that in chess, though it's sort of pointless when you're not very good at chess because you're already making enough mistakes for two people. But but the way that works is there's one person who's the hand and one person who's the head, and you in tournament, if you do a whole tournament of it, you often alternate. Like in round 1, I'm the hand, you're the head. In round 2, you're the hand, I'm the head. But the head says the name of the piece that has to move, but the hand chooses how it moves. And like,
oh, fun.
It's fun. It's fun in chess also because you have more than one of every piece but the king and queen. So like if I say pawn, you can move any of our pawns. And I might have been thinking about one very important pawn, and you're like, you move some other pawn. But in Marvel, I think it would be fun for a different reason. There's only one of each model, except for Sentinels and Sentinels Primes and so forth. But
say Captain America, and you don't know which one.
True, but also just because there are so many more decision points in an individual activation. Like if you're the hand and you're told to activate Kingpin, and you're looking at Kingpin and you're like, what the fuck am I supposed to do? You can fuck it up in a million different ways, which is kind of
right.
fun.
Yeah, I would be terrified of that format.
Here's how you do that format in Marvel: is you play it 3-man teams, and every time you activate, you step one board to the right.
Isn't that music? Didn't we do that in Guild Ball?
The like musical chairs. I think we talked about it. I don't think we ever actually.
One SteamCon it happened. I mean, I didn't participate in it because I think I was playing a different tournament, but people played it. I think Sam Bredesen played in that. I remember talking to him about that. Yeah, I think we were all a bunch of tryhards and we were like in nationals or something while it was going on, but it happened.
That is a cool idea. I don't know.
Yeah. But I mean, I would be down to do that in Marvel, to be clear, Vince. I think that would be really fun. I would have a blast doing
that. Sounds
good.
Let's find 2 more people and let's do it.
Round 5 of squad goals.
Yeah, there we go. now we're talking.
Okay, all right.
Oh boy,
that sounds like an
really
incredible thing to stream.
If we have a more relaxed schedule, that could be kind of fun.
We've got lots of time on Sunday.
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, it's something to think about. Much to think about.
Much to think about.
So, other than the goof format being the best part, what was the best part?
Okay.
Or if you had more to say about the two-headed giant.
I had a question about the goof format.
Yeah, please.
So I've looked at this goof format and I've played in this goof format, and I am always somewhat annoyed at how similar it is to just Marvel. that like that it's like a goofy format and they don't let you do anything broken. It's like two people bring their stuff. You get one leadership. One character has that leadership, right? You're
you
essentially
want
playing
weaknesses, yeah.
one person Marvel, but half the stuff is yours and half the stuff is mine. And there's
Yeah.
an arbitrary line, and that's what it is. Right.
Yeah.
And I always thought it should have been like, yeah, pick two leaderships. As long as your side's affiliated, everyone's affected by the leadership, go nuts.
I mean, you certainly could do that, but I think the format to me was more appealing that like once you started deployment, it's just kind of a normal game of Marvel from that point. Because I think once you start getting silly with it, you lose the learning part that I was talking about, right? Or not all of it, but you'd lose some of that if it just becomes
Yeah.
Goof Town, right? And like I think it would be fine to do that, but they also had I don't know, to me too, there was other goof events at Marvel, right? Like they did the What If, which is functionally Who's the Boss, that was actually the extended format. So if you happen to have your copy of Field Dressing, Disarm, all you've got, you can
yuck.
draft those.
Drop off?
It's just whatever you had your copy of.
Not even sure
What?
drop off makes the 5, man. That's how broken that format
Really?
is.
So also fun fact about this format is since, anyone is affiliated, right? This is normal with What If, like once you have a leader, every model counts as affiliated. And so every year, I think up until this one, it's always been won by Wakanda because just getting Wakanda forever on whichever models you want gets real stupid in a hurry. However, this year, DeLuca figured out another great thing, which is that since anyone's affiliated, any model can have any horse command role if you can draft Apocalypse. So then you can just build the greatest horse team of all time. It is a draft, so you have to get, who you want. But he had Pestilence Juggernaut, which is pretty fucking annoying. He had
good.
Death Valkyrie, who already has War printed on her card. So then she just gets to be War Death
yeah.
Valkyrie all the time.
That's fucked up.
And then, it turns out an Apocalypse with all you've got is a real motherfucker to deal with.
I believe that.
So, there's other goof formats to be goofing around with. And I think this one, at least for me, hit the perfect amount of different but similar.
Yeah, I guess I prefer Affiliation Battle for that, where it's like slightly lower power Marvel.
Okay.
As opposed to just like normal Marvel, but you have a dude standing next to you.
I mean, you got 4 more threat and an extra tactics card, but yeah.
Yeah, but like I could, like my likelihood to win that tournament with my mother and win just a normal tournament feel the same.
I mean, sure, but that's not really the spirit of the event.
Yeah.
You know who you're talking to, though, right? Like the spirit of the event has to be focused.
Yeah, the rule does what it says it does. There's no intention. Okay.
True.
We'll get to
True.
that. Okay, so that was the team event. That was pretty much all day Thursday. Friday was the start of Worlds. So Worlds this year, I think, had a mostly correct and sane setup. It was a little different than previous years, because previous years there's been like 2 heats that feed into an event Saturday that cuts into an event on Sunday. And this year, it's basically the same setup as what LVO has, where if you've won a GT, you qualify into the top 64 of Worlds on Saturday, right? So if you're a GT winner, you can show up, skip Friday, you're in the top 64 immediately. And then to fill out the top 64, right, once they figure out how many GT winners are attending, they have one big LCQ on Friday, and then however many players they need to fill out a 64 gets pulled from the LCQ. Cool. Normal. Great.
Yeah, very normal.
I think a correct way of setting all of this up, right? And I do think having an LCQ into a top event is not the same as having cuts, right? I know some people talking about like, oh, Adepticon has cuts into cuts. And I think an LCQ is a different enough thing, right? Especially because people are skipping it, right? The fact that this year is only 11 people.
I agree with
but the fact that 11 people got to skip Friday and play Saturday means it's not a cut. It is an LCQ. It's, a little goofy to have an LCQ where you pull out the top 53 people to pull into day 2.
Yeah.
But hey, that's what happened. It's like a problem of the fact that there's just not that many GTs, right?
Mhm.
Like if every GT
Yeah.
winner showed up, you probably wouldn't have done that much more. And then you have problems like what's his name? Ben, the Apocalypse player, won 3 GTs on the East Coast and then didn't show up. So like
So he just
your
took 3
invites-
spots.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That is
I
pretty
think the like GT qualification thing's a little silly, but whatever. You know what I mean? Not a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Heck,
you know,
let's do that next year. Let's each win 3 GTs.
Okay. Okay, Vince, I'll go win
Uh,
3 GTs.
I
I'm
need
good.
there's
I'm only
3
gonna do one.
GTs on the western half of the United States. But also, the LCQ was then 160 something people. So like,
That's awesome.
it was the biggest singles Marvel event to have ever happened, which was awesome to get to
Yeah.
participate in.
Yeah,
And
that's super cool.
pulling 53 out of that. It's the top third, right? So it's all the undefeateds make it, all the X and ones make it, and then I think 2 X and 2s made it in. Which, okay, yeah, I mean, I think a setup where all the X and ones make Saturday is kind of the platonic ideal of how to do an LCQ, right?
Yeah. I think the shitty thing about cuts or LCQs or whatever is just when people get owned by tie breaks, but it's
Mhm.
kind of hard to avoid that. But at least while
Yeah.
still doing Swiss.
And I
Got to
think
do
it's
double
better-
elimination.
We'll talk. We're doing some math on
Yeah,
what
we
double
do.
elimination
It
would
should be
look like.
the pool play next year. Pool play
Uh-huh.
by regions.
Yeah, I mean that's what like fighting game tournaments
Play
do
out of your
for the most
region.
part.
Travel to the con. Play the people you traveled with. One of you gets to
Oh,
go.
okay, no, I wasn't. Don't do pools of regions. That's fucking stupid.
I think when we did the math, if we had done a double elimination bracket for all 160 something people, it was like 13 rounds, which, if you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's doable, right? Like,
Yeah, that
that's
honestly
not-
is not as long as I thought it was going to be just off the top of my head, but okay.
So,
I'd play 13 games.
well, it's only 13 if you keep winning too.
True. I'd play up
Yeah,
to
lose
13
twice and you
games.
get to be done.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it's good the way that worked out. I had a fun time in the LCQ. I went X and 1, made it to Saturday. That was mostly just a normal day of tournament Marvel. You know what I mean? It was 4 rounds, which I think is the right number of rounds in a day. The team event the day before was 5 rounds, which was a little much when the team, especially because the rounds are longer for the team event because
Yeah,
they're trying to
they must
accommodate
take longer,
people
right?
talking all the time. So that was like started at 8 a.m. and we left the room at 10:30 p.m., which is a hell of a day. LCQ, very normal 5 rounds. Was happy with all of that was set up. I don't think I had anything to say about that. And then the top 64 was Saturday. And this is where things started getting a little weird because AMG wanted to score some own goals here and kind of tripped over themselves a bit. So they decided, for whatever reason, that it should be 4 rounds on Saturday that then cut to a top 8 on Sunday. This is weird because if you have 64 players and are doing a Swiss style event, you can be done in 6 rounds total, right? They could have done 3 rounds on Saturday, guaranteed to have 8 undefeated players after those 3 rounds. I guess not guaranteed because there's ties because of round timers, but you're likely to have 8 undefeateds and then go into a normal one. But they didn't. And this has caused some issues because at the end of round 3, there was a lot of 3-0 players who realized that a draw would guarantee them making the next day, whereas playing this game, the loser of the game might not make it to Sunday, depending on strength of schedule. They're likely to, right? If you're undefeated that long, your strength of schedule is usually pretty good. It's probably likely you make it in.
Yeah.
But why chance it, right? And so this is why you saw a bunch of intentional draws on Saturday. I think all of the 3-0 players, besides one table, decided to take the ID and guarantee themselves into Sunday.
Yeah.
And that's like game theory says that's correct, right? Like that's the format that AMG's provided. They had allowed IDs before, like on Friday, there was I think 1 or 2 IDs of people who were undefeated in the last round of the LCQ, and just like, we're good, you know.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the ID and just move on to Saturday, and everything's fine. Yeah, it's, I don't want to say unfortunate. I just think it's a natural consequence of there being 4 rounds, right? Like, just
No, I think it
don't
is
have the
unfortunate.
4th
It's not
round.
unfortunate that people chose it, but it's unfortunate
Sure.
that that's good. Like, it's
Okay,
like,
yeah.
it is unfortunate that the format
Yeah.
makes that correct. Like, I
And-
don't think. Yeah.
Also, like you as a Marvel enjoyer can be yelling at your screen and it's okay to be mad about this.
Me, Vince. I'm not a Marvel enjoyer, and I'm not yelling.
Sorry, one is allowed to be a Marvel
I'm
enjoyer
asking you.
and like hate this rule or hate this like form of
Mhm.
play, but like the players are not the people to blame,
Mhm.
right? The people to blame are AMG for incentivizing it and then AMG
Mhm.
for allowing it. If
Mhm.
AMG had just
Yeah.
like even with it being the clear best thing to do, if like the TOs had just gone, hey, if you intentional draw or we think you intentionally drew, you're DQ'd. Right?
Yeah.
Play your games
Mhm.
out.
Mhm.
Like the format's just different and people act differently.
Yeah, totally.
And like it sucks because if you're a person that wants to play it out, you're punished for doing so, especially knowing that other people are doing the intentional draw. Because
Mhm.
if they're like, there's one X and one
Yeah.
that won't make it, well, now if you're playing the only game that
Yeah.
that if you lose, you're the X and one, you're done. Like
Potentially, yeah.
it's
Yeah,
you.
like, the
It's
more
the loser of
people
your game
ID
goes.
Yeah. The more people ID, the more you're incentivized to do it yourself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It sucks. I mean, like, I don't understand why they made that format decision. Like, it's just lame too, because it also feels like, as a player, it feels bad that, like, playing more games increases your likelihood of losing. Like, you know, like that, like, if I was in that position, which I was not, to be clear, I didn't play at any events at Adepticon. But if I was, I'd be like, I probably should draw because I want to win this tournament. But that also means I play less of the game that I'm here to play, which is stupid. So
I do
I-
think Nobility and Art had the best solution to that problem, where they got paired up in the last round of Saturday, took the ID, then swapped armies and played each other.
oh, that's funny. Yeah, that sounds fun. I like that
It was a
idea.
great solution.
Um,
But yeah, it's a bummer. I hope they take some feedback. I mean, they're going to hear lots of people talking about it, right? The
Yeah.
ID thing has been discussed a bunch of places, so I don't know if we need to say a ton more about it, but I do think just highlighting that it's, you know, it's a format structure thing. And I hope they do something about it that isn't silly. I hope they just do
Yeah.
3 rounds. Just do 3 rounds, especially because the other big problem, the only other big problem with the format, right, was the round timers.
Yeah.
You know, everything else went great, right? I do think felt like they had more TOs on hand this year. I don't know if that's objectively true or not, but like there were judges everywhere. They have changed the format for round timers that now there's this like 15-minute overtime that happens when you hit the end of the round timer, where it's like finish your round, or in 15 minutes is up, then it's dice down, but don't start a new round. And that really helped to keep the day on schedule. I was actually really impressed with how well all of the organizers kept things close to the schedule as possible, considering things that were happening outside of their control, right? So I think it was a very tight event, which has not always been true of past Adepticons I've been to, but they really had stuff on lock this year. However, the round timers are just too short, right?
Yeah.
People play too slow.
The round timers are too short.
I mean, yeah. I just don't think, like, I don't know. Yeah. Not to, I guess I feel like this is just grousing about the same thing that we've been grousing about for literally years. But, like, I don't, like, probably people do play too slowly by Vince's, like, as in an annoying amount of slowness. But there's no, it's sort of the same way that the cut incentivizes drawing in the last round of the first phase. Playing a little slower is incentivized by the time system, and if they if they just had chess clocks, that would not be the case. So I don't know.
It's also just like if you're a list that wins if the game goes shorter, you should play slow, right? And
Yeah,
lo and
or at least you
behold,
don't have to worry about playing fast. Yeah.
like 20 of the players were on Kingpin, who just wins the early game by default.
So
Surprise.
I think what you're saying is true, but I think that
Yeah,
is missing the complications of what actually happened at the event, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
Because yes,
yeah.
chess clocks would solve it. They're never going to do chess clocks, right?
Yeah.
I'm team chess clocks. They all know that. It's feedback they've gotten. Not worth reiterating. But like I'm watching games of two players I know personally are not slow players, and both of them seem to be playing at a normal tempo, trying to get to the end of the game, and just weren't capable of doing that. Right? Like,
Yeah, that
yes,
sucks.
theoretical players could do the kind of angle shooty things Vince is talking about, but I don't think that's like if you're trying to say that's why Kingpin did well, I don't think that's true. Right. Or I at least don't think the players were intentionally trying to make the game not go another turn to give themselves an advantage. It was just too short. Right.
Yeah.
They had 2-hour round timers, right? Like if you look at the schedule, it's like round 1 is 8 to 10, round 2 is 10 to 12, right? 2 hours is what we do for our events that have chess clocks, right?
Yeah.
And also like have pre-marked mats and have easier setup time, right? So many people I know were like still putting tokens out on the board, just like setting up the crisis tokens when they say, hey, the round timer's now started, you should be playing. Right. And like if you actually clocked the amount of minutes people had to play a game, it just wasn't enough. Right. If you look at in the entire top 8, there were 2 games that somebody got to 16 points. Every other game in top 8 ended on round timer.
That's fucking great. Is that true? Wow, I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Pat, you're muted. Yeah, so like that's why I'm like,
Pat?
It's not what Vince is talking about because it's too widespread to be somebody being cute and clever with it, right? Or slow players being slow,
totally.
right? It is
Wow,
people who play the game a lot and aren't clocked problems. Just not enough time, right? And like I think 15 minutes might have fixed it, right? I don't think they have to do big sweeping changes. They just need to extend the timer a little bit longer, right? Though we have a second problem here of just like, we know in June a lot of models are getting extra health. We've been more or less told or heavily hinted at that the next crisis pack is going to be slower than this one. So like if they're slowing the game down and making the game take longer to play, next year does 15 minutes. So like 15 minutes would have worked this year. Would that be enough next year? I don't know.
So counterpoint.
Yeah.
Like 2 Adepticons ago when we were on the last packet, we had a similar number of draws and games went 6 rounds.
Okay.
Right? Like players are playing Marvel slower because they think they have more time. Like Marvel is being played at a slower pace. Like at the LVO that I won, routinely going to 6 rounds, I experienced something close to a clock out 1 time. Right? And then we have games from CarlCon that are going to clock in 4 rounds.
Wait, so sorry. I don't understand the other sentence you said. You said people are playing slower because they think they have more time. Why do you think why do they think you have more time?
Because they're playing only 4 rounds. So they're playing more time each round. They're budgeting their clock for the amount of time they expect.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Right. So like Marvel is being played slower than it was 2 years ago.
Oh, so what you're saying is that like if the scenario packet makes for slower scoring, people will play the turns faster because
So I believe that's true on chess clock, and maybe people will adapt. But because we went from the game was this speed, and then the game sped up, or like you were allowed to play the game slower, people have slowed down. I am unconvinced that will happen when we go back. I think we will. I think like next year, games. Let's pretend that scenario pack comes out, and games are on average usually 5. Sometimes 6, very rarely 4 or less. Right.
Yeah.
I think you will still see the same number of games end in 3 and 4 rounds on on
because
dice down
somebody
timers.
clocks out or you go to round timer. Okay, I
Right?
understand.
Because we're in a situation like, and the God's honest truth of round timer is there is no incentive to play fast because whoever takes the most time gets the most time.
Yeah.
You know, so like, why would I rush myself ever unless like I actively need the game to go long? So like, if you're playing against a kingpin player as like an attrition thing, you need your turn one to be like 4 minutes, like maybe a minute and a half.
Huh.
Right. And then, like pray that they don't take 12.
I'm trying to remember if I've ever consciously thought about that, like in Marvel or Guild Ball. I
So
probably have, but I feel like I haven't.
I think very few people like actually think about it consciously. I think the closest that anybody playing in this event really have come to like thinking about it consciously is like, I should play Kingpin because I don't think games are going to go long. Like they're still playing at whatever speed they need,
that makes more
right?
sense to me. Is like choosing a list partially because you think games are faster or slower. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's like that's just playing the format. That's not like that's not
Yeah.
goosing something. I don't really mean to accuse people that went to Adepticon of like angle shooting the format.
No. I
But
didn't
like,
think you were. I was more thinking like, have I ever like felt like I could play faster or slower because of a matchup one way or the other. Even though I almost exclusively have played in chess clocks, both in Guild Ball and Marvel. So but,
like in Guild Ball, I played Smoke faster than I played Midas.
Yeah.
Because Smoke had very complicated end games that I wanted my clock for.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I guess I never really thought about that like consciously, but that doesn't mean nobody does. I'm just saying that I don't think I've ever thought about that.
But also like outside of that, I never had. I noticed it because it was so different from how I had been playing before. And then I was like, I was a very highly rated player that was very clock conscious. Like
nerd.
Yeah, I know, exactly. It was like extremely like a Venn diagram of a Venn diagram, right? Like, so I don't really think that like anybody's acting badly, but I am terrified of what Adepticon's going to look like if the format slows down.
Well, they probably should extend the timer, like Nate's saying.
Wouldn't it just be kind of like what it was 2 years ago or whatever? Like where a bunch of people tie and.
But it's like about the same number of people as it was 2 years ago. So maybe it's self-correcting.
Oh yeah, I thought there was that. Oh, excuse me. I thought there was that 1 year where like there was a truly crazy amount of ties, but I can't remember.
I mean, are you sort of felt too, though? But okay.
But is like a tie equivalent to you if it's intentional versus on the clock?
No,
I mean, I think that the difference between an intentional tie and an unintentional tie is like, it's a thought crime. It's like reading somebody's mind, right? Like,
well, no, it's not if the tie happens at the start of the game. Vince.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I guess I misunderstood. I misunderstand the question. I'm sorry. Where one player, I thought you were saying where like one player is able to stretch it out into a tie.
Well, like, yeah, I don't know. You were saying that you thought there was like a similar number this year, and I didn't know if that was including the intentional draws or
not. It probably isn't. You're right.
I also think ties aren't the point. There were no ties in the top 8, but they still had round timer issues, right? You can't just look at the ties to know the scope of the problem here.
Yeah, I guess I was thinking, I'm saying the word ties, but I mean dice down.
Okay, well, you understand that those things mean very different
things.
They
mean different things. I'm just, I have, like a goof for brains.
I think, and having talked to a lot of the people who were in this top 8, there were more dice downs here than at Adepticon 2 years ago, right? This felt like the most amount of dice downs in a top 8 that has ever happened.
Which is wild because, like, did they have significantly less time than they had 2 years ago? I thought they had more time.
I want to go find the schedule from 2 years ago and figure that out.
Like, I could be talking out my butt here, but I feel like they had less time in a game that went more rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
doesn't it sort of seem to you like that as people get better at the game, that people kind of would reasonably play slower? Like playing to a higher standard of play is sort of inherently, like, you got to think harder about it.
Yeah, I don't know. My decision making is so devoid from like, I feel like that is how most people play, but it's not how I experience the game.
Sure.
I like just like it takes me whatever amount of time to look at the handful of lines I have access to, and then I decide which one. And like, I often think because of so much of Marvel is obfuscated behind chance, and so much of it's about reacting to dice, that like me hemming and hawing for 20 minutes and me making the decision in like 20 seconds, like that, I don't know that I necessarily come out to a appreciable better answer.
Sure.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, yeah, like if the problem is that like there are a bunch of dice downs in top 8, it doesn't really matter how any one of those 8 people is playing. It's like sort of a structural thing if it's happening a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, if it's happening this much, it's a structural thing. It's like the argument is that if there's 4 games going on and 3 of them go to dice down, that's on the event, not on that's the format, not whatever. And even if it is the players doing it, it's the format acting on the players causing them to behave that way.
Sure.
If there's 4 games going on and 3 of them go to dice down, what was the 4th game doing? Somebody could have relaxed.
Somebody could have relaxed, or like somebody got bamboozled by the scoundrels scoundrel CS, and they just like they're like, oh, I whiffed my first 6 attacks, so I just lost a CS on turn 3. It took 12 minutes.
Many such cases. Anything else about Adepticon, Nate? Do you?
I mean, I think as far as worlds go, that's kind of all I had to say. I lost in the first round of the top 64, getting to play against Archie Cable, who's one of the better players from the UK. That was a blast of a game. He's a really cool guy. One of those things you can only really get at big cons, right? Is actually playing international players. So that was awesome. Really fun opponent. Loved all of that. And then, as previously mentioned, Pat forced me to drop from the event at that point, which is why I did not play out the rest of Worlds.
Pat was threatening Nate. It was terrifying. I was scared. I cried.
I guess I'll say, I don't know, the prize wall was cool this year. I like the green dice. I now have a bunch of green dice. Some of the alt art cards are cool. I got those. Oh, I did really, really like, so at the start on, what was it, Friday of the LCQ, they walked past every table and gave every player a Jubilee card. And it's like
that's cool.
Nicer plastic card, right? It's not like the normal paper ones. It's a bit thicker. It has like a gold world stamp on it to show that you were at Worlds, which I think is, if that LCQ keeps being the biggest event in Marvel, I think having a little token that we're like, you were here, you were there, you played in it, great. You know what I mean? Everyone
got
the
Jubilee card every year, a different Jubilee card.
Was really cool, and that was just like a hype moment at the start of the day. I definitely felt the distraction of like, oh shit, I really want to read this, but round 1 is a tough round. I'm just waking up. I gotta fucking get my head in the game, but also I want to read this. And everybody was making fun of me for immediately pulling out my phone and taking pictures and putting it on Discord. But how could I not? Right?
I'm gonna ask a dumb question.
So
that was a new card.
AMG.
That was a new card. Yes,
it was a new card for a character that's not out yet, and we knew nothing about her.
Okay,
that's what was so cool about it, was that like every single person that was at that event got to feel special because they learned it first.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. They didn't.
They used to do that.
Online.
They used to do that for like War Machine, right? I sort of remember that, like, I don't remember if it was War Machine weekend or something, but I remember that like people saw new stat cards for models for the first time when they walked up and signed up for an event or something like that. But
that sounds familiar.
It's a long time ago now, but.
And like AMG did this last year, sort of, where we got to see the buffed Gambit card was in the prize wall.
Cool.
So you could exchange tickets to get, I mean, you could read it obviously for free, but you could get tickets and go home with a Gambit card, which I think is cool. But I think it being a new character with the little stamp that everyone gets just for participating is an improvement on that. And so I hope they keep that tradition going. Year over year. Same thing. I think the convention exclusive Mephisto is a really cool new idea. Being able to pick them up at the con, or it seems like they had quite a few online for people to buy who weren't attending the con, was cool. The sculpt is awesome. The idea is cool. I think that's a fun way to do alternate sculpts that isn't like the fucking Rivals panels that everybody hates, myself included.
And they priced it reasonably too. Which
Yes.
is nice.
Yes.
Right. Mephisto normally $35. The con exclusive was $50.
And he's like significantly more plastic than original Mephisto was too, right?
He's like
that's
big
not
and has
just
a throne and stuff.
upcharge. That is, you're getting some more material in there.
Totally.
Yeah, that doesn't have anything to do with.
The pricing of all of their boxes does seem to reflect to some amount how much plastic is in there. I know that AMG did not pay $15 for the throne that's in that box, Vince. I am aware that's not how this works, but it's not just an upcharge, right? Like it is, you get more physical product for your money and a cool alt art card from Mephisto.
Yeah. And I hope the rumors are true that they'll do that with Magneto next year, because we saw the alternate Magneto
Who I
run
think
around.
looks worse than our Magneto.
Oh, dude, I think he looks way better than our Magneto.
Did you see my complaint about him?
No, I did not see your complaint about him.
So if you find a picture of him and then post him in this chat here for our co-hosts to see, because I know they haven't seen it, he's like doing a cool pose. Oh wow! All right, Pat's on board. So he's doing a cool pose. He's got his right hand out, blasting magnetism people, and he's got like a girder warping around him. It looks really cool. And then his left hand is just like holding his cape out for him. And I'm like, why is this man like draping his cape with his hand? It should just be flowing back from the power of magnetism.
Superhero, okay?
It just doesn't look good. Did you find it yet? Do you need help, Vince?
I need help. This is not my area of expertise, Google Foo, okay? Like, this is not the thing that I do.
If you search the word Matador, you'll find me complaining about it, which has to be near. Here's the image.
You talk about that every day.
I do talk about Matadors a lot.
Well, you just haven't seen the next con exclusive the year after this one, which is a bull. And then they will sell them as a Rivals panel for $1,200.
Okay, Vince, defend this left hand.
Defend this left hand. Yeah,
I feel like well, no, he's whipping the metal around, isn't he?
Yeah,
like
he's
holding the metal, and he's like
metal.
kushwang. That's probably the noise they would write down in the comic.
Yeah, he's doing a kushwang.
And then the metal would warp into a circle around him.
Yeah,
like
I kind of chalked that up to the angle we have / this probably being an early, like this is a 3D printed version of the final.
Okay.
Right? Because the hand looks messed up. Like,
sure.
Like the thumb is weird. It looks so much smaller than the other hand.
Yeah, I assume because like the fingers might be curled a little bit, but
it
might just be a bad angle.
It could be, it's either a bad angle or like it's a thing that'll be fixed in the final. I wouldn't read too much into that, but I just think I think the whole character is just sculpted better. I think the pose is better.
I think the character is sculpted better. I don't think the pose is better. I think some of it's just like, I really like the Magneto that we have.
I really don't like his face. So, and I really like the face on this one.
I guess I gotta go look at the face of our Magneto because I haven't looked at him in a while. But I think the Magneto we have is one of their better early sculpts, and is generally pretty well done. And like this one is better, but like I don't know. Part of my problem too is the leap from Mephisto to the convention Mephisto is like a huge difference, right? Like it is a noticeably much cooler looking model, and this, a lot of people are like, oh, this just looks like Alliance's Magneto, right? Which is not the level of glow up I would want. I want something more elaborate, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Like if there's a lot more metal debris and stuff going on, you know what I mean? If he's like on a big pillar of junk, would feel more like a convention exclusive to me.
I kind of think, I mean, I guess I've heard people say that they don't want to do this because they keep all of their X-Men stuff looking like the 90s era. But I kind of wish that it was like a different Magneto, like one of his various other outfits or time periods in his life, or it was just straight up Ian McKellen. I don't know, but like
that would have been cool.
But this is like the same. This is like the exact same outfit, I think, as the original one,
is.
Just posed differently. But yeah, I mean, it's
I mean,
fine though. I would probably use this one because it looks easier to store than the
Yeah,
the
true.
pointy rebar that's on the original one. Like if this came out, but yeah.
I really hate the debris on the original one. I don't know if you remember.
It's
back
not
to,
great.
like,
Yeah, the debris on this one's way cooler and better integrated than on
Yeah.
the OG Magneto.
well, and the other OG Magneto has like the problem of like the debris over the fence, not the
Yeah.
the girder, is like really unclear as to where it glues onto the
Yeah,
character.
you just fucking slap it on there somewhere and hope
Yeah.
it looks not terrible. Yeah.
The
Yeah,
original
and-
one has like a more iconic Magneto pose, though, I would say. I feel like there's lots of like images of Magneto in the comics and like in fighting games and stuff where he's floating and doing the like what'd he say fuck me for pose with his hands out to the side. Like this.
Yeah, I think the like hands going up like that is a cooler looking pose than just the blasting.
I mean, if you asked me to paint one of these two models for competition, I know which one I would pick.
Well, sure.
But
That's fair.
Which is, so yeah, maybe just tastes can differ, but I really like this Magneto. I think you're probably right that it doesn't meet the same glow up, but I also like this character a lot, and I don't care about Mephisto a lot. So
I mean, I don't care what Mephisto at all, but the pose they got of him on that throne is so perfect. Right?
It's
Like
great,
just the
yeah.
amount of
Yeah,
personality
the throne
he
is cool.
exudes
I like it.
is so fucking good.
They could have done literally the same pose for Magneto. I just like Googled Magneto and I found like 2 pictures where he's doing Mephisto's pose on a throne. So,
Oh yeah, fun fact about the convention exclusive Mephisto: there will be one in the prize pool at Squad Goals. So if you
Heck
weren't able to
yeah.
get one, come
That
to
is a fun
Squad
fact.
Goals. I was able to secure an extra
But
one
you
for
can't
our
anymore.
event.
So
But you can't buy a ticket now because we're sold out. Get on the wait
Well,
list.
Listen, go look at the list of team captains on the Longshanks page and make a pitch to them while you should be on their team and see if you can get them to boot one of their teammates for you.
I actually think there's like across the teams. I think there's like 2 or 3 slots open on the
It
teams
might
that are.
be.
yeah, I think
matched.
there are a couple people that are still looking to fill out their teams that have like 2 of 3. So,
So hop in the Squad Goals thing and like be like,
and then
hey,
win
I'm
it
looking
all
for a
and then
team.
get Mephisto. And then dance on the graves of the meat men. Yeah.
I think the only other thing I want to say about Worlds real quick is that I do think it's cool to have seen the meta kind of naturally evolve over the last couple events, right? Where,
Mhm.
even just in the short term, the defenders kind of winning Carl Khan out of not nowhere, but it was kind of surprising how popular defenders were at Carl Khan, right? Like
Yeah.
we'd heard that the list was good, but hadn't really seen it out in force. And then it shows up in force to Carl Khan. And then a lot of people there kind of said the same thing that we and Vince said is that, like, yeah, the defenders are really good, but they got some problem matchups too that just didn't happen to be at Carl Khan, right? Like the defenders thing really struggles against the wide and fast scenario teams. And so now you get to this event, and what's dominant is criminals. Although every criminal player in top 8 had a second affiliation, right? So it wasn't solo Kingpin that won this event. Deaton and DeLuca both had that same defenders thing that won Carl Khan, but they managed to fit a Kingpin duel in there for the problem matchups. And then Sooner had a Steve 3 list where I think if you look at his day, it's really funny where like every game on Sunday was Kingpin and every game on Saturday was Steve 3. So using both parts of it, but in kind of a goofy way. And so I just think it's cool to be able to say this thing was dominant. What beats it? Okay, we play this, and the next event has Kingpin. And so then, I think the next big event, we can just like, okay, well, what deals with Kingpin? And it's fun to kind of see the meta do its own little cycle without major input from AMG.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is cool. That's sort of a point against my hypothesis that the meta is fake and not real and doesn't matter too, because it seems like it clearly almost everybody who is participating at a high level in these 2 events was thinking about it one way or the other. So that's cool. Is criminals the best thing in the game? Which of these fucking things is the best thing in the game? Vince and Nate, Pat, you can tell me too, but I might not pay as much attention.
The single best thing in the game?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's defenders.
Holy shit. And yet they lost Worlds. Embarrassing.
Um, so I mean, like CS is one of the things that's like good into it, but like
Yeah.
it is like the CS player just has to like clutch their pearls and hope they don't get diced off the table before they win the game.
Mhm.
And like crisis split like matters a lot. I actually thought on turn 0 that like when jailbreak got flipped, the defenders player had like already won.
Oh, for the finals, you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think that's true.
I mean, it's true that that's what I thought. That's clearly
Oh,
not
yes.
how it worked.
You were
I got to
good.
watch
Nice try.
a couple different Kingpin on jailbreak games, and it's actually not as bad for Kingpin as I thought it was going to be going into those games, right? Because in my head, I thought jailbreak would be a tough extract for Kingpin because it largely devalues his ability to pass extracts around because generally
Right.
you're not going to have the window to pick them up and pass them somewhere. But it greatly values the Kingpin lists that have 3+ long movers in them, right? Especially if the secure is also spread out, then it's very easy for, like the one game I was watching was Jailbreak Infinity, but this also works on Lockdown, where if one of the 4 corners is kind of weak, one of Kingpin's long movers is going to go over there and just score 2 points, right? They're going to double walk, pick up the extract while standing on the secure, because with Lockdown and Infinity, there is a spot where you can stand to pick up and be on the point. And it's just, you're going to stretch your opponent out so far. And then if they come for you, you just leave and go get a different extract, right? And you can just kind of dance and maneuver around them in ways that I didn't think about how uniquely jailbreak combines with different extracts or different secures, where if it's like jailbreak intrusions, that plan's not as exciting, right? Because then it's like, yeah, my 3 threat can go dive anywhere, but they're only going to score 1 point. And that's kind of what Black Cat does for me anyway. In a normal game, Black Cat picks up an extract, scores your point, and runs around. She's going to do that same thing on jailbreak. But if on the right secure, it's actually actively good for Kingpin, I think, and one of his better extracts should the secure allow it. So there's more nuance there than I thought before this event.
Yeah. My other concern with it being jailbreak is that one of the ways you beat the defenders list is by extract control. And that's an uncontrollable extract. It always resets.
But it also means it's hard for them to control. Because they can't go out and get one and bring it to the bunker.
Right.
They have to go back out and get it again later. Right. So
I actually once you lose control of the extracts, you don't lose the game into defenders. But like it's still, I still think it was defenders' favorite, even with everything I saw. But you're right, it wasn't as big of a deal as I thought. I thought the game was over when crises were flipped.
Yeah, I actually think that like trying to play, I want to play you, Mr. Shieldman, on jailbreak more now because I do think the teams that like I want to collect the extracts and bunker up have the hardest time on jailbreak. Right?
I mean, good luck ever getting me on jailbreak, but all right. Shield doesn't play jailbreak, but all right, sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be hard.
Okay.
You'd have to like be Inhumans to make me do that.
If you had to, what's the next big singles event in Marvel Crisis calendar? Marvel calendar protocol. I could have figured that out better, but
I can't. The next one I know of is going to be Don't Table Flip, but that's very likely to be after the fucking 150 character errata.
Okay. Dang
so
it.
Like,
I was gonna. Okay, well, if theoretically there was like a big name like 64 or more player event in the United States of America or Canada between now and the big patch.
Yeah.
What would and you had to choose one affiliation to win it, and if you got it right, you got $5 and a firm handshake. What would you bet it on? Unfortunately, you will not be able to redeem $5 and a firm handshake from me, but theoretically, I don't have that kind of walking around money. So,
I think if I had to pick someone, and this is like the least confident I ever felt picking what the best thing in the game is, right? It's very up in the air. I actually think Guardians are
based
an interesting position right now.
My famous Adam Warlock gameplay.
Because like, if Guardians did well at this event, right? Especially Art went on a pretty good run with Guardians and was able, I think it can beat the defenders thing, and it can deal with the kingpin thing, right? It does potentially have enough damage output to put a dent in kingpin. I also think, I don't know. So a model that impressed me this weekend that I didn't think much about going into it was Moondragon with the Mind Stone. I got my shit totally housed basically off the back of that model. It wasn't Steve 1, who is a very good leadership for what she wants to do, right? Because under Steve 1, she guaranteed walk, charge, mind gem at a minimum every turn of the game, right? And then obviously can do more if things go well for her.
Right, yeah.
And we got on Scoundrels, and she just planted her stupid feet in the middle Scoundrel, would mind gem someone every turn, had shield mine when I tried to push stuff off, was shooting guns at people. It was generally just a pain in the ass. As like a, it's kind of, we have other 4 threats with Bow, right? Like it's kind of just a different flavor of Enchantress. But she does have some unique utility that in the right matchup can make a big difference, right? And so, like, I don't know if Guardians can afford a Mind Stone Moondragon in their list, but I think if they can find a way to put that in there, then their Kingpin matchup gets a lot better for them. And so that's kind of why they're my, like, possible sleeper pick for the thing that could win the next event.
Hey, do you know what faction Moondragon's also in?
Avengers.
Defenders.
Cool, sure.
Ooh.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Defenders list might change. I don't know. The problem with her in Defenders is that she doesn't really help them go much wider, right? So, like, I don't know if she solves the Kingpin problem enough that they can play Defenders into Kingpin. I assume it's worth testing, right? But that is the problem Defenders have right now is the Kingpin thing. And maybe Moondragon solves that, but I don't know. But I think she's good in Defenders and she's really good in Avengers, right? Everywhere she's affiliated, I think she's good. And is just a better model than I thought, having only read the card.
Okay. What about you, Vince? Would you say Defenders still?
I think I would still say Defenders. I mean, like, just looking at the stats, like your money's best off on like Defenders, Shield, CS, APOC, and Humans. Like those are like I think the 5 places that you should put your money. I would put it on Defenders just because like it's extremely popular. I think it's fairly easy to play to like X and 1. And I know a lot of good players are on it. And like it also has space in the roster to play a secondary game plan, as we saw this weekend, as there were a lot of like Defender CS.
Yeah. Okay.
And so like, yeah, I think that's what I would put my money on, because I think there's good odds that whatever actually wins in finals might have been a Defenders duel. Because I also just think that like the math behind Blue Marvel is like just not okay. And
Blue Marvel's a dumb fucking model. Yeah.
It just because like the character is fine, assuming you don't synergize with him at all.
Yes.
Like if you can't give him a buff, he's incredibly fair. But the second you can give him more attack dice, more defense dice, the character goes crazy instantly. Because like if you are rolling remotely the same number of dice as him, you're not very likely to do damage because he succeeds on 4 faces and you succeed on 4 faces.
Yeah.
So unless something is especially like great about your dice, you're not expected to do stuff to him if he's rolling a similar amount of dice to you. Like a 4-die attack doesn't do damage to him under normal buffs. And then when you do a 6-die attack and he's buffed by the strange thing and it's a 6-die attack, just that buff, you're like 40% to deal a damage to him with a 6-die attack or something like that if they boost his defense. Because you roll the same die, because you're rolling the same exact set of dice and he wins ties because ties is no damage.
Right.
So,
yeah. That's funny.
And then he also on his own card has access to reroll any, which means like to kill him in the Defender's shell, like what's up?
This doesn't fucking matter, but your math is bad and made me mad.
Well, what's bad about
Okay.
my math?
So a 6 dice attack into him getting the strange boost is, what did you say it was?
I said
Or
it was
did I hear?
40.
Oh, I misheard you then. Never mind. Continue.
I said it was 40 to do damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you were correct. Yes. Sorry.
Yeah. So it's
I
more
misheard
likely
what you
to-
said.
It made him
Yeah.
mad.
Fake fight.
The most important thing about it is that it's more likely to miss than to deal
Yes.
damage, which is not the standard for how anybody that plays Marvel by feel should expect. Like attacks do damage more often than they don't do damage. And
I
when
mean, they've
attacking,
talked about that as a design goal for the game, right? Like
yeah,
part of the
exactly.
reason why
This is a
the
model
dice
that, like,
are the way they are is they want it. So when you make an attack, you should do a damage more often than not. Like things
Yeah.
should progress. That is the design goal of the game.
Yeah, and then he's already wielding the best attack type, and the spender's crazy. And like his weaknesses are largely covered by that list. And like when I play into the defenders thing, the plan is never kill Blue Marvel.
No, God, no.
Like there are certain specialized lists that can like make it happen. Like I'm thinking anything that's like playing like double bubble Emma. Double bubble Emma like dicks on that guy really hard. Because you just can't buy any of his defensive stuff.
Right.
And you're rolling way better than a 5-die attack.
Mhm.
But like, yeah, I'm just very worried about that. And the thing that really worries me about it is how high level of a player you have to be to understand how to beat that list.
Yeah.
I think lots of players will play into it and lose to it and not really understand why they lost. Like, because I was talking to Carl, and Carl was complaining that like he double spendered him with blade while he was already bleeding, and he did like 3 damage. And I'm like, brother, you're like you're in the average percentile of like what is expected if the guy boosted and rerolled both times. Like,
Yeah.
like you think of like double blade spender where you're already bleeding being like that kills a model, even a threat above me. And
Right.
like the guy just laughs at you.
Yeah, that does seem frustrating. I mean, I don't know. I mean, he's just mathematically good. Well, that makes
Yeah,
sense as a good
the
pick
math
for
is just like
winning an event, then.
deceptive on it.
Yeah, totally. And nobody likes a super defensive model unless they are playing them. Very hard to get in the mindset of defeating something like that, I think, in general. Okay, cool. Well, no event is actually happening, so I don't have to pay either of you. Thank God.
Isn't there
Yes.
like
What?
isn't like Gen Con coming up, and there's conventions. We're entering convention season, right?
This is Gen Con in August? Is that not true anymore?
I thought Gen Con was in August.
Oh, okay.
It's usually
I guess
in
you're right.
August.
I guess everything is after the June event. You're right. My bad.
Yeah, the big,
Everything but
the
squad
big
goals.
change. Yeah, everything but squad goals. Squad goals is in the lame ass old
The send off.
It's the send off. Who can send it off the best? Me. Should we go into everyone's favorite segment? Where you guys...
Before we do you want to talk at all about the Worthy?
Oh yeah, so I want to talk about the panel, the real show briefly, and also the
Oh.
Worthy. I don't have...
reveal show. I thought you said real show.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like,
I don't think I have much to say about the reveal panel. I, like a lot of people, was slightly disappointed that there was nothing we hadn't really seen in Mini-Strav besides the Sentinel cards. Though, you know, Sentinel cards are cool. I like getting rules. I do think though that like I'm fine with it given the larger message that like AMG kind of communicated after the panel. And then if you listen, they were doing a lot of like on the floor interviews with a bunch of different podcasts that have all started coming out. So you can hear this directly from Schick, but like they came to the conclusion that they've been spoiling stuff too far away from its actual street date, which is the thing like our Discord has said for like
I was going to say, which is definitely true. They came
Yes.
to the correct conclusion, I think.
And so they've decided they have to get themselves out of, as they called it, spoiler debt. And what that means is you're going to have one Adepticon or Mini-Strav that's the least exciting it's ever been.
Yeah,
Right?
right.
You really just got to draw a line and cut it and be like, no, sorry. This one's going to be rough to make the rest of your life better. And I'm fine with that. I think that's great, right?
Yeah.
They do reveal stuff too early. And they've talked, I think on some of the podcasts I've heard, they're trying to get it to like ideally in their world, they announce a thing's existence, and then within 2 or 3 months, you can have that thing in your hand. Right.
Yeah.
And like that gives them time to like somewhere in there, there'll be the panel to play, or they can do some design articles and like tease some information out. But ideally it goes from like, this model exists, right? Like Blue Hulk has now been announced. Within the next 3 to 4 months.
Blue Hulk, let's go.
Oh, yeah, I'm checking back in.
You can have a Blue Hulk in your hands, right? And we saw this happen, if anybody kept watching the stream, for Star Wars Legion, right? Where the Mandalorian army got announced, which no one knew anything about, right? And it's like out total news, whole new army, new faction being added to a game that only has 4 fucking factions or whatever, which is a big deal. And then I don't remember what the release date was. They said, but then like, oh, great. In June, you can have this whole giant army that you didn't know about. That's hype as hell. And that panel room went fucking nuts, right? Like the Legion players lost their minds. And I'm jealous of that. And I'm excited for when that's going to be our turn now that they're working on getting us out of this situation, right? I think the only thing I would have done, if I was God Emperor of Marvel, the other thing I would have done differently with this panel is to just like the last slide should have been a picture of someone's face that we didn't know was coming to the game, right? They did that with Dracula 2 years ago, which is just like the best end of presentation they've ever done, which is like, here's a slide, it's Dracula's face. Cool. Everybody go home. And it's like, that's hype. And so I think they could have given us one tiny little tidbit more, but also it's fine.
Yeah. I think also, like, if they're going to do a lower amount of spoilers, I think the way they did it is good, where it's like the spoilers are all for one thing. I guess maybe some people might not like it because it means that the thing that you like probably didn't get anything, unless you were a Sentinels player. But to me, it makes more it feels better because it feels like the stuff that's spoiled you can actually kind of start to play or like think about how you would play it, because it's all it's all goes into the same thing. Whereas like I mean, okay, so the character that they have spoiled that I'm most interested in from just my relatively limited like comic book knowledge is Multiple Man, because I like that character. So like I was a little disappointed that they didn't spoil Multiple Man because I wanted to see what he was like. But like if they did spoil just Multiple Man, it's not like I could do anything with it anyway. Like I mean I could be like, that looks good or that looks bad, and then that's it. I can't really play a Multiple Man list really because I don't know his cards, I don't know the other models that he's coming with. I don't even know his affiliations necessarily. Although if he had a leadership, we know one of them.
And we don't know who the fuck is an X Factor. So.
Yeah, exactly. Whereas at least with these like I mean, I know that the Sentinels box is also going to have tactics cards that we don't know, but like a Sentinels player or a prospective Sentinels player with the program TTS on their computer can play most of a Sentinels list with these new models and like mostly start to figure out whether they're good or not. And I think that's way more interesting from a spoiler perspective.
I'm surprised Multiple Man is on your list above Red Hulk. You're getting another Hulk who's Hulk posing.
Well, now I don't care about Red Hulk because the Thunderbolts affiliation is not a Hulk affiliation. I mean, I do like, I want to see another Hulk, but I thought the affiliation was just going to be a bunch of Hulks. It was going to be Red Hulk and Green Hulk and Blue Hulk and etc. And now it's just, it's not the Rainbow Coalition of Hulks that I was imagining.
It's Voltron, but Hulks.
Yeah, it's not the progressive paramilitary organization from the late 1970s, but all Hulks. So so what's the fucking point? I am excited to see Red Hulk though, and maybe Thunderbolts will actually be fun, even though it will have a deficit of Hulks. So I want to see Multiple Man, because Multiple Man, they've got at least 4 Multiple Men. So you can already tell. You can tell that just from the model. So
I do think the 2 new affiliations they announced are pretty hype. Right. I think the game has gotten to a point where the things I'm most excited about are more things like Mighty Avengers, where it's like a new mid-sized affiliation, right? That has new leadership and new cards, right? Because like the big tents are too big. It's too hard to put a model out into like Avengers or Cabal or CS that is exciting and is going to disrupt things. Yeah. But then I think some of their small affiliations, like New Mutants or Winter Guard, are too small to be interesting, right? There's just not enough stuff in there to build a list. And then like you get Mighty Avengers, which is like, here's 2 new characters, and then kind of an almost island of misfit toys of characters who weren't really making the cut in their old affiliation have a new place to be, right? Where like Black Panther 3 or Ant-Man or, you know, these characters that weren't super... Or Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson,
characters who weren't seeing a lot of play.
Finally, someone's
Luke
going to play
Cage.
Sam. Thank God.
I just think affiliations about that size who then get like cool new tactics cards. They don't have to worry about breaking Avengers. If Avengers got a second Helios laser, it's like, no, it's fine. This one's Mighty Avengers. I think that is the best way for the game to expand. And so them mentioning we're going to get 2 of those kind of, I mean, we don't know the size, but this is my hope. Affiliations like that. I also think it'll be cool to compare because like they've mentioned the Thunderbolts is based on the Code Red team, and you can go on Wikipedia and get a pretty good idea of who's going to be in that. And then they mentioned if you look up the Intelligentsia, if you look at the Wikipedia page, it's a bunch of things that do not exist in Marvel, right? And
that's
like,
kind of cool, kind of exciting, yeah.
And
well,
Modoc.
and well, so what they've said is that like, yeah, this one Intelligentsia is going to be very much a Marvel Crisis Protocol take on the idea, right? Where they knew leader had to have a leadership, right? There's no possible way they can release a model called leader who isn't a leader, but they couldn't find a way to make him work in like Cabal or CS where he would normally fit because both of those already have a shit ton of leaderships, right? And they couldn't come up with something satisfying. So then he's like, well, I like the idea of Intelligentsia being this faction of like the smartest villains who aren't like regularly getting their hands dirty, right? They're manipulating things. They're having big brain plans. They're being clever. They're outsmarting their opponent. Let's put one of those in this game and then collect all of the smartest villains that exist and put them in there. So like we know MODOK Scientist Supreme, for example, will be in this, but not regular MODOK. And so I think it'll be fun to see.
Because he's not supreme.
He's not smart enough. He
Yeah,
didn't pass the IQ test to get in.
Makes sense to me.
And so I'm also excited to see kind of them almost making their own affiliation whole cloth here to see where that comes up. And I think a faction of like the tricksy, clever supervillains could be a lot of fun, right?
In the sky.
Like,
Am I in the sky?
there's definitely some shenanigans and, you know, Vince clever trickery that could happen with a faction like that.
Eye in the sky, the superpower.
The leadership is just eye in the sky.
Be pretty cool.
All right. I think that's all I have to say about the reveal show. It was good. It was fine.
I guess my criticism, the thing I would have changed is I would have given us. I wanted to see at least one model we hadn't seen before.
Yeah,
which would have been nice.
Yep. The thing I saw.
Was there literally no?
There's
model
literally
Yes.
we had literally seen every.
Oh, okay.
We saw models painted that we had only seen renders for. But we saw no new miniature.
Yep.
Oh, okay. I guess I didn't realize that there was literally nothing. That's kind of
And then when they showed the slide of the balance pass, they should have showed one card.
Sure.
And I think like just with like those 2 little changes, you wouldn't have gotten. Maybe you would still have gotten the thing, the like people complaining or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think those are the 2 like notable lacks. Is like, you know, like this balance pass, the fact that it's being worked on, like people are hearing rumblings of it.
Well, and they were so close
I
to
feel like
giving
we've
you
been
what you
hearing rumblings.
want because like the Asgard affiliation box has the Thor 2 card on it. And so like we know Thor 2 is getting buffed in the balance pass because they've said the throw changes were too hard on the poor guy. And so just like if that Thor card had slightly more pixels in it, you know what I mean? If they could have afforded a few more in there and make that readable, I think you kind of get what you want.
Yeah.
Pixels don't come cheap these days.
They sure don't.
All right. Do you want to talk about the worthy at all, or you just want to talk about this rhino?
I mean, we can both, right? So you know, the worthy is really cool. It is very fun to go look at that goddamn cabinet and see some gorgeous models, right? A thing I learned after my first Adepticon, walking past like the Golden Demon cabinet, is that however good you are as a photographer of these miniatures, they just look better in person.
Yes,
right?
They do.
It's just some things that are impossible to capture or just look more impressive or cooler in person. So I've always liked going and looking at the cabinet and seeing kind of what stands out to me and that stuff. And the internet quickly became a buzz with Chris's Rhino here. That showed up in a couple Discords, and it is fucking gorgeous. And it looks better in person. And what also I'm now extra biased towards this because I actually ended up talking to Chris a lot this weekend. We hit it off pretty quickly, and like he was showing me his Rhino, and I was kind of talking to him about the Worthy because he had never done the Worthy before, and I haven't, but I've talked to Vince and a bunch of other people who've done the Worthy, and I know more about the process than the average bear. So I kind of got to talking to him about that. There was a very fun moment where it was Sunday morning, about an hour before the announcement, like who wins the Best in Show, I forget what they call it, award was going to happen like at 11, and it's like 10:12. And at 10, they'd open the vendor hall with the cabinet with all the models arranged by if they won a medal, right? So there's like a gold shelf, the silver shelf, and the bronze shelf. So you don't know who won Best in Show, but you can at least see who won medals, right? And so I walk over I check out the cabinet myself, and then I go over to Chris and be like, "Oh, hey, have you been by the cabinet yet?" And he's like, "No, I'm still, too nervous waiting for the show to know what has happened." And it's like, "Oh, well, you might not know this, but you'll know the medals of the cabinet right now. So you might want to go over there and look. You might just want to stroll on over there now," because he was very nervous about it. And then, so it was fun to kind of break the news to him that he had won gold. And then after, he actually let me hold this fucking Rhino and look at it. And he kind of talked to me about the things Dallas had told him about it, which was really cool. Great guy. We hit it off really well. This thing is gorgeous.
Super cool.
And I think, it seems like they've gotten the process nailed down a little bit better for like the Worthy and how they give feedback and how the process works. It seems like they had kind of more people available to give feedback more often and that kind of thing. Everyone I talked to who tried the Worthy this year had a positive experience about it. They had the biggest improvement in my mind is like they had these pictures ready to go like the day after Adepticon, whereas some years it's been like 6 months later you get to figure out who won. And this year it was like the next day they had excellent looking photos ready to go. So I definitely want to commend AMG for getting that part of their process streamlined and worked out. It's just shit's gorgeous, right? I'm not an expert hobbyist to be able to say, do more than like a gush over these. But there's some cool looking shit in there. And it really, even for someone like me who doesn't have the best eye for this stuff, it is really cool seeing it in person.
Yeah, the Rhino was definitely my favorite of the show. And then seeing what they picked to win, who was a guy I already followed on Instagram. Like Pale King is a guy I already follow on Instagram. So seeing him win was cool as well. But yeah, the Rhino was definitely my favorite, even if it didn't win, and it definitely deserved gold. It was really cool.
Wait, which is the one that won? Oh,
it's not here yet.
It's not here. Sorry.
Go find the picture, Vince.
They posted it separately, which is stupid.
Okay.
This one's funny because we got to look at the cabinet when Pat and Bots were there. Right. We managed to have some time to go over and look at it. And the thing that won was the first thing Pat commented on as looking nice.
Oh,
I don't know if you remember that, Pat.
It was
professional judge.
Some spider thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
You clocked on immediately. It's like, oh, I want to look at this one more. And then when it won, it's like, damn, Pat's good at this.
Well, so I was glad the Rhino did well because I was sort of worried. Like, I don't follow the rules, but like, I know they're kind of picky about like how much modification there can be and models being on bases versus display shit. And I saw the Rhino on the base, and I was like, oh no. But
it's on a base on a plinth. That's allowed.
Well, so
that's on a plinth.
He was telling me there was a couple things that Dallas did give him feedback on, right? As just like how to push this. I mean, he won a fucking gold, right? So it's not huge drawbacks. But they did mention that like this is clearly a game piece attached to a plinth, and like incorporating the plinth into your story and narrative and miniature is the thing they're looking for. Which, like, if you look at the thing that won, the plinth couldn't be more goddamn incorporated. That dude really heard that advice at some point. But yeah, I mean, so like,
Okay.
The armor all being sculpted, right? Like it's all green stuff and plasticard on the Rhino, which I think helps, right? I do know that like there's something like if you 3D print too much of it, they probably don't like it. But if you're doing it all by hand, you're fine. Though also they mentioned you can't see in this picture. There's a Coke can that is clearly has a hand drawn Coke label on it, but is like being smashed, so it's not a full Coke can. And they're just like, yeah, watch out for that. If this was like
That's
definitively Coke, you might have a problem because of the IP thing you were just talking about. But
I know this is like a golden demon thing, so like it's not totally AMG's fault. I wish things weren't called gold if they didn't win. If they weren't like if there's a not if they didn't win, because I know this is incredible. Like they did incredibly, but like if they are not the highest award.
So that's
so I disagree with you here.
Wow.
So the Worthy is a rubric based or ostensibly a rubric based contest, even though they haven't printed the rubric.
Okay.
So it's did you paint to this standard?
Yeah.
Like it's not there are 3 golds to give out. We will give out as many golds as show up. It's did you hit this level? And then they give an overall like winner.
Well, I think Bots is just saying you call it something different.
Yeah, I just say you call it something different. I just like literally looking in Discord for the posts of who won. I was tricked and confused about who won because of the Golden Demon, because you don't just being called gold means you don't win. And then I was tricked and confused by the Worthy for the exact same reason. I was like, oh, this person won gold. And then people are like, yeah, but it didn't win. And I was like, what does that mean? And I did that twice. And
so it's also worth noting the Golden Demon does closer to what you want, Bots, which is that there is
but also
one
doesn't
gold,
do what you want.
1 silver, and 1 bronze per category.
Right.
And then there's a Slayer's sword that's best in show, which is the best of the golds. But at least over there, if you won gold, you won your category of, single miniature or dual or Middle Earth or whatever. So it's closer to what you want.
Yeah, it's closer. I just wish that like instead of gold, silver, and bronze, they would use like A, B, and C, or like super and marvelous and stellar or something like that, and then like some shit that doesn't mean first place in every other use.
S, triple S.
Yeah, exactly. Like we don't call everybody who goes X and 1 gold medalists, even if there's no X and 0. Like. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think part of the problem is what you're struggling with is like, what do you call it instead? Like, I think if you coined the perfect names for it, then they would adopt it. But you still need something that, is as understandable as gold is as being excellent.
Okay, fine. I'll make an entire new linguistic system just so I can understand these things.
Call it worthy, soon to be worthy, might be worthy someday.
They could be not dumb. They could be like they could just be like top, like stellar, exceptional, etc. Like I don't know, but
okay, but what's better between stellar and exceptional?
Well, okay, fine, but they could, or they could just be like 90th percentile, 80th percentile, 70th percentile, or something like that. Like I don't
percentile.
Well, okay,
because it's a rubric, right? So as long as you meet these criteria, you get it. So
I just don't understand how there could be more than 1 gold medalist. But and also none of them won.
So at the Olympics that multiple people get to leave the Olympics as a gold medalist.
Not in the same category.
How many?
One person wins, figure skating.
How did the hockey team do?
Skating. Well, they're on a team. I'm sorry. Are you saying that Kevin Witt with his Hulk and Thor thing and Chris Fellas with his cool Rhino thing were on a team together and they co-won?
Sure.
No, obviously not. Anyway.
All right.
Very nice. Everyone did good. You are all incredible painters. It's fucked up what you can do with miniatures.
It's so fucked up.
So fucked up. I do want to reiterate that like seeing them in person is wildly different. I remember the last Adepticon I was at, and that was the year in Golden Demon that the Reflection won.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Right, and that was
I think
wild
about this thing
to see
like
in
once
real
a
life.
week.
Dude, I still think this might be the greatest Golden Demon ever.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's such an incredible idea.
The fact that it I understand in the camera how this illusion works. To witness it work when it's like a sculpture that is inches from your face is fucking wild, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm beyond happy I got to see this in person. Right. And I think like this rhino is going to enter a similar part of my brain where 6 months from now, I'm like, man, I got to hold that rhino, but just like seeing it in person, fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's play some Family Feud.
While you get that set up, also very exciting news about the Worthy, the best Shatterpoint announcement of all time. There's going to be a Star Wars category for the Worthy next year. Why there wasn't before this point, mind-boggling to me.
Wait, but it's the same thing?
What do you mean?
Like it's still the Worthy?
No, it's gonna.
No, it's got its own name.
Okay,
the Star Worthy.
That's kind of what I was like. I don't know. I want it to be some dumb Star Wars
in
name.
the fucking panel, and I forget what they said, but the name's out there. Okay. But the best.
So wait, sorry. So the Star Wars players have not been competing in painting stuff. I assumed I just hadn't seen them. What?
Nope. Yep. It's weird. Doesn't make any sense. Yeah,
it's totally jacked up.
That's
especially because like, so I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. But like, I largely think the Shatterpoint models are better than the MCP models, at least across the entire range. And like,
fucking crushes it on sculpts basically every time.
And so like, there not being one, I think, is like been kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's very strange. I had no idea.
I'm stoked to see that cabinet next year. There's going to be some fucking.
Don't play Shatterpoint. I don't really like the game. I may compete in this. That's how there's your put it on the box, AMG. All right. Alex. So Poulos had this crazy idea.
Oh man.
Where we ask Alex what the rules of the game are, and no matter what Alex says, those are the rules.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh man.
So I ask you.
All right, Alex, well, I'm gonna try really hard to get it right then, but I don't.
It's gonna be like, and also my team always wins.
Oh, that's a great idea.
All right, it's Family Feud, you nerds. I'll let Alex off the hook. We're gonna just play this game.
Yeah, you guys know how to play Family Feud. You just imagine. All right, listeners, imagine the rules. And that's what we're playing.
All right, it's Alex or Pat. You guys got your buzzers ready? You want to?
Oh God, that was loud. What am I? I'm the duck, right? Whack.
We're collectively the duck.
Oh, we're collectively the duck. You're the duck.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Excellent. I was the Taco Bell thing.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Which one of you two is up for fastest finger?
Well, can't be saying that. On a family-friendly Christian podcast.
That's what they call it on the show.
I'll go first.
All right. There are 5 answers on the board.
Only 5? Holy shit.
Okay. We asked 100 Marvel Crisis Protocol players, which superpower on an MCP character would you like to have? That's Alex.
Mm-hmm.
What does everybody want? What is that called? Damn it! What is that called? It's such a good answer. If I could just remember what it's called. Fuck. Right. No. Give me 2 seconds.
I've given you.
It's 5 Elements Fist.
5 Elements Fist is not on here, buddy. What are you talking about?
Answer.
Terrible answer. Nate, get one right, and you steal control.
There's only 5 answers? How did 100 people agree on 5 things?
Yeah, number 1 answer on the board, Flight.
Oh.
With 28.
Which character can breathe underwater?
Superpower?
Yeah, well, it's the...
Well, can you fly?
So
no, I think he means does it count as a superpower if it's just one of those passive effects?
It doesn't matter if it counts. It matters what people think.
But it's not a superpower. It's illegal.
Okay. I am going
people said
to
Flight.
keep.
Holy shit.
I think I can get some of these.
All right. Excellent. Go for it then, Nate. You got this. Which superpowers on an MCP character would you like to have?
Telekinesis.
Telekinesis is going to be a strike.
Let's go.
Teleportation.
I will give you Bamf with 16. All right. Keep in mind the name of the question is which superpower on an MCP character would you like to have?
Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
But also, as Pat mentioned, flight is not a superpower.
It absolutely is. What are you talking about?
Yeah, I was gonna say they do count as superpowers, right? Because
It's
they're
also
just
the
permanent
rule named
superpowers or whatever
superpower
that,
in the
whatever
game.
that, whatever that infinity symbol is called in the game rules.
Innate.
Innate
Innate what?
superpower.
Innate superpower. Flight was
No,
different,
I was
though.
agreeing with you, Vince. After thinking about it more, but I think everything is everything on a card is either an attack or a superpower, or a stat, I guess.
Okay. Next guess. What is a superpower on people's card? What about healing factor?
Number 3 answer on the board, healing factor with 12.
I like
That would make sense, at least because everybody would think of healing factor.
Yeah. Now I don't know if like people got abstract where like having the reality gem superpower. Obviously, the things
You
you
want
can
to
do with
reroll
the
attack rolls?
well, yeah. So it's like, how are people going
What a
out
lot
more
of crits
abstract
in
with it?
their life? Like,
Yeah.
what?
But like, you know, control over reality is pretty cool.
It's fucked
Is that
up
what they do in
these
the
people.
movie?
I mean, yeah, that's
Yes.
what the gem does. Is it controls reality? I mean, it's crazy that you can control all of reality, and the only thing you can think of doing is exploding skulls as though they were crits. I would be changing some other things. Let me tell you.
They're not very imaginative.
Yeah, they
Gem
didn't have the
wielders.
imaginative gem.
Is like mind reading, mind gem.
Mind gem.
Is that your answer? Is
Telepathy?
mind reading,
Yeah.
mind
Yeah,
gem?
yeah,
Question
that's
mark.
that
Your
category.
thing?
Yes.
That's a great
That's gonna be a strike. There's no mind
Damn, I
reading,
can't believe
mind
that didn't
gem?
count.
Question mark.
20 people
there is
wrote
mind reading,
mind
mind
reading,
gem,
mind
exclamation
gem?
point.
Question mark. I don't know what the fuck to say when this.
I mean, we're definitely
inevitably gets
down in the
over us.
doldrums with number 3 being already at 12. Like these last 2 answers can't be very popular.
I can't believe you got 3 of them. That's fucked up.
Those were the easiest fucking 3 guesses I've ever had in a game of
flight
Family
was
Feud.
definitely the answer. Like,
Yeah.
what do human beings dream about doing? Oh,
Well, yeah, people was like, what is what superpower would you want? Flight and teleportation are always up there.
Yeah,
And
teleportation is a good one. When people in the playground asked whether you would want to be able to fly or breathe underwater, I always said breathe underwater.
You're insane.
So that's not a rule in the game.
That's an insane choice.
it is an insane choice.
All right,
Were you
got one
drowning
more
at the
guess.
time you answered?
Yeah, they were holding my face down in a puddle, asking me which one I wanted.
just waterboarding you in the drinking fountain, just like, you want to fly or you want to breathe underwater? And he's like, well, right now. I would do just about anything to not suffocate.
Okay, what about Speedster?
Speedster is going to be your 3rd strike. Boom, you out of here.
All right,
All
Pat, what is
right.
it? What are the last
You
2?
used to have a sound effect for the strikes?
I do. I
Oh.
enter it. I put it in a post.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Wow.
You guys never witness it.
That's amazing.
All right, I got one
you
guess
know-
to steal a bunch of points.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got some points on the line, Pat. Even though only the
When
last
they
round
pivoted
matters.
to actual ability names, I was sort of thrown because I've been sitting here thinking about actual ability names in an unhelpful way. Like,
Great.
like would you have given me Bamf if I had said web swing?
Huh? No.
But they're both fucking teleports.
I'm pretty sure like the spirit of the question is not, I want to place a 3-stick.
I mean,
every human
this is
being
why
has
I
that
have-
superpower.
All right,
Telepathy
Vince, if you
question
could
mark is my
if you could
answer.
teleport in real life the distance of a 3-stick,
6 inches.
Or
Like, I can
in
teleport, but only 6 inches at a time.
front to back.
it's $500 once. Which would you take?
Front to back, though.
Yeah, front to back. Yeah.
So like if
if
you
I
lay
laid-
down, you go pretty far actually.
You could teleport. Yeah, you can teleport the 3-stick, or you get $500 a single time, Vince. What are you taking?
I'm taking the teleport. There's got to be a
There's
way
no-
to make
There's
more.
got to
than
be
you
something
have
I
to
can,
take the
I can use
teleport.
to make that $300.
What are you
bar
doing with a
bets
6-inch
alone would get
teleport?
you to $500.
You
Like,
just
hey, I
like
bet you
okay, you do
$500 I can't teleport 6 inches.
you just like slowly move towards somebody without them seeing you move, and it's the freakiest thing in the world.
I think people would just like remain unconvinced that you had a superpower just because they thought that they blinked.
All right, fine. How much money would I have to pay you to get you to not take the 6-inch teleport?
Oh boy.
Oh man.
Like I think, man, it's probably a depressingly low amount of no.
I mean, it's nice.
It's probably like
Money's nice.
$100,000.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know if
I
it's
would think
depressingly
$100,000.
low.
Yeah, I don't.
I
I
think
would
that's
think
reasonably
$100,000
low.
to not have a 6-inch teleport.
All right, what are you guys doing? You're not even collaborating. Let's answer. Let's play the game.
Well, let's go. How do we feel about shapeshifter? Do people remember that Mystique exists?
Well, that's a great call.
that is
Because
on her card.
that's all. I mean, that's like Emma Frost has that too, and like it's a very impactful power. Even though Mystique doesn't exist anymore, they took her out of the game. They put her in Shatterpoint as punishment for having a good card
That's
once.
where you go when you're kicked out of the game.
Yeah.
I think you were like, yeah. In the context of a real life superpower, it is very funny to think that they have the same superpower.
So did they get the shapeshifter right, Vince?
Is that your answer?
That's Pat's answer. Yes.
I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. The shapeshifter's
My-
not on here.
My
I
client
thought that
is
was a good
shapeshifter.
one. I was
I
worried.
thought that was a good one too. I didn't think.
I
that.
think that is a good one. I think you're going to be mad about the ones that are on here.
All right.
Cool.
I'm
Web
getting mad about this
swing.
game.
That's why.
Also, Carl remains terrible at math as there are only 65 votes on here.
I was wondering about that.
Yeah, I
but-
was like,
I was also like, how could this possibly? In
56
fact, it
plus
can't.
11
Like
plus
even if
11 doesn't.
I think
Yeah,
just
if
for
4 and
3
5
more episodes, we have this problem. All right. So number 5 with 3 votes, we have witty banter, which is like,
I have that superpower. Fuck you.
yeah, exactly.
Well, not everyone
And it's fine.
does.
It's not that great.
Changing one wild doesn't help your life that often.
I would much rather have the 6-inch teleport.
Well, I'm guessing these 3 people already have the power of flight, so there's like, well, I
That's
guess
a
I'll
good
take some
point.
witty
Yeah,
banter.
yeah. Those are the 3 Discord members who can fly.
And then number 4 with 6 votes, we've got probability manipulation.
So
Which
they
I think
do
is a
want the
good
reality
answer.
gem.
If I said reality gem, would you have given me that one?
No.
Okay.
Um,
I think that's fair. I'm just curious.
if you had been like probably, or if you had been like reality gem, turn your crits to.
Probably gem.
I don't know. I'm
Go
glad
with
we're
the
out of that one.
imagination gem.
Yeah. You would have had to now for probability manipulation. You'd have to give me a lot of money to not have this one.
Well, sure, yes. Especially
All
in
right.
the hell world we live in.
All right. So we've got Pat and Nate all set for fastest finger here.
Yes.
I'm getting set.
the pad.
Yes.
Lock in.
Are,
Lock in.
are you
Locked
locked in? Okay, excellent. We asked 100 Marvel Crisis Protocol players, name the best sculpt in the game. Pat.
There's just something so
I
great
don't
about
know.
it being a duck.
The best sculpt in the game. All right. Process of elimination. It's not.
Did we do
rogue.
this one? No, we did worse.
We did worse. Yeah, go
Um,
scroll up in our chat
I
and
refuse.
find.
Don't pick any of those
Best
ones. There's 8.
Sculpt.
What if
There's
there was
8?
one that was in both? That would be awesome.
That would be really hype.
Best sculpt. I regret quacking.
Those you fuckers
Answers
just like
out.
buzz in and then decide to go read
Because that's
a
what you do,
textbook.
and also you have a latency advantage. So
Yeah. Okay. How about apocalypse?
Apocalypse is going to be a no. He's not.
What?
Garbage.
Everyone
sculpt,
loves apocalypse,
obviously.
though.
everyone loves Apocalypse.
All right, Nate, to steal
He's got
control.
arms?
So
Yeah.
true, Pat.
Come on, get it and make them do it. It's going to be great.
I don't wanna.
I
I
will.
have some better guesses, I think, but like,
Don't save your better guesses.
well, I didn't have
What
them at
the
the
fuck?
time.
They're recently developed better
Yeah.
guesses.
I thought of 2 more models and they were both better.
Man, I feel like I'm drawing a huge blank because like this is the thing people talk about all the time and list what their favorite ones are, and now my fucking brain is just mush, and I can only think of ugly models. Which is,
Oh yeah.
Give me enough time by process elimination, I'll get there.
Trying to think what people like. I don't know.
Well, worst
Yeah,
case scenario, you
I'm
say a
out of
model,
touch.
and then Pat has to go again.
That's true. Yes, that is pretty fun as a backup plan. Mysterio.
Mysterio is not on here, and it's a crying shame. Pat, name a model.
Rhino?
Rhino's not on here.
Damn, I was gonna say Rhino. Fuck.
I was also thinking Rhino.
Nate, name a model.
Oh
Question sucks.
God.
I feel like Billy on the street where I'm like, name a woman. Name any woman.
Sentinel Prime Mark IV.
Not on here. Back to Pat.
All right. Well, if we keep going, we're gonna go through the entire line eventually. So
What models do people like? I Hulk.
I Hulk. Number 3 answer on the board.
let's go.
At 11.
I was gonna say I Hulk
You
too.
want to play or you want to pass?
I don't want to play.
Fuck.
Number 3 has 11. Okay. All right. Well,
It's divisive.
oh, okay. Man, we're really bad at this game. I feel much better at this now.
Do you want to keep?
No, I don't. But I want to lord my guesses over you.
All right, Nate, you're going again.
Yep. Dormammu.
Dormammu, number 8 answer on the board
Making
with
progress.
5.
They just like him because he's big.
It's
Yes,
just
correct.
big models.
And sorry if I.
It's just the big models. That would
I gotta
be
be
pretty funny.
I thought
Black
about
Dwarf's pretty
saying
big.
him while I was like halfway through saying Sentinel Prime's name. I was like, oh shit, I picked the wrong big guy. All right, next guess, Hulk Buster.
Number 1 answer on the board.
What the fuck? It is all the big
Bustin'
guys.
makes you feel good.
They just Americans when the plane lands, they clap.
Okay,
Tiny
but have you
Mike-
seen
Oh.
Hulk Buster in person? The sculpt is incredible.
Yeah, it looks really good, but it's
Yeah,
also
it's a good
big.
sculpt.
It's also big. I mean, listen, it helps. All right, I'm gonna keep riding this until it fails. Malekith.
Malekith, number 5 answer on the board.
It's because everybody who plays this game looks at the computer too much, so they can only see big models. They if they wanted, they would know that some of the smaller models were good if they brought a magnifying glass to the game store.
When did you send this survey out?
Huh? So, if you remember from last week, one of the questions was the Adepticon terrain, or the Adepticon terrain didn't show up to second wind.
Oh, right. Okay. I might take a shot on it. Anyways, we'll keep that on the pocket for now. How about Thanos? How about a good old fashioned Thanos?
Thanos is going to be a strike.
Sad. Oh, here's another good answer that I don't know if people thought about, and if it's not on the list, our listenership is wrong and dumb and bad. Is Shadow King on the list?
Shadow King, number 7 answer on the board.
Okay,
Still
good.
no small models.
Community spared.
I hope
Oh
they
my
release
God.
rules for that model.
Oh,
Me too.
I'm a dumbass. I missed the other big one. Phoenix.
Phoenix Unleashed, number 2 answer on the board.
Big model. Big
It
model.
literally is just big model.
Who else is large?
Are you sure the question wasn't just which is the biggest model?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Biggest model was and nobody mentioned any of the Sentinels.
Okay, you know what? We're gonna go with one small base thing as a joke. Exodus.
Exodus, unfortunately, not on the list. That's going to be a strike. I do think Exodus
Is
belongs
Not
here.
big enough.
He'd be on my
Not
list.
big enough. Not big enough.
Yeah, I was kind of like Mysterio, right? These are fucking gorgeous things that are just too small to be appreciated.
Mhm.
Oh, that's next to this.
That is
The
a
Exodus and the
yeah.
Worthy, by the way, was also fantastic.
That
There's
was
also a good
great.
Shadow King in the Worthy. I thought the colors were
Um,
very nice.
That Exodus was the second model in the Worthy cabinet I got to hold in my own hands because I gushed about it too much on Discord. So the dude came and found me on Sunday, which was fucking hype as hell.
It
The
sucks
holder
that
of
Nate
worthy
is
models.
Uh-huh.
yeah. It sucks that Nate's banned from Adepticon now because he just opened up the Worthy case and started grabbing models.
I touched
tried
all of them.
We tried to stop him, but he wouldn't. He wouldn't relent.
All right. What about an Ultron the Second?
Ultron 2 not on the list. That's probably why I didn't. I don't have a worthy
Oh, that's
prize.
3 strikes. All right, Pat, get him.
Yeah.
Wait,
Get
why
me.
do I have to get them?
All
I don't
right.
fucking know.
You have the number 4 and the number 6 answer left.
Pat has already guessed like 5 times though, bots. You know,
Yeah, so he's narrowed it down.
Yeah.
For you.
I mean, we can work on bigness together. So it's probably not Black Dwarf.
Damn. Well, that was my first pick. So I'm trying to think about models that people talk about as having good sculpts. Could it be
Yeah.
one of the two? Do people like the 2 models that were in the Wakanda Rivals panel? King T'Challa, or
Do they?
I don't know. I don't know.
They're small. They're small.
They're
I
small.
mean,
They are big in the Rivals panel. If you include the waterfall.
oh, okay. So the answer might be the waterfall from the
It
Rivals
might be the
panel.
waterfall.
What about
What other
like,
big models are there? So I mean, there's MODOK. I mean, actually, sometimes
Yeah.
people talk about how the MODOKs have good faces. I think they have good faces. I don't know if
They
that counts
do,
as
they
good
do.
sculpts, but
people? I don't know if I don't think people like the original Hulk. It's just sort of it's a well executed Hulk, but it's just
I
a Hulk.
agree. What about Abomination? Do people like Abomination? He's like webbed
Probably
Hulk,
prefer a MODOK.
fishy Hulk. Yeah, probably prefer a MODOK. That makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I think there are also like Blade is small but very good and flashy.
Dracula.
Dracula. Oh, that's a good point.
Oh,
Dracula.
Swamp Man Swamp.
Oh, Man Thing. Oh, yeah, because there's like there were like 40
19
Man
painted.
Things in the Worthy, and
It was very
So-
funny. The like most represented character by far in the Worthy cabinet was Man Thing.
and also almost all of them did the terrarium thing, where it was like in like a faked swamp, but also
Lots of
in
resin, water,
a
and stuff on
terrarium,
them.
and lots.
Yeah.
Like I think it looks really cool, but it's kind of funny that like 6 people had the exact same idea, basically. Actually, yeah, I guess my vote is Man Thing now, but I
Okay,
am
let's do
open
that.
to your thoughts.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Man Thing.
Man Thing is not on here.
Hooray!
I think that's a wild pick. I also think it was wild that they were in the Worthy. I think that model is very hard to paint in a way that makes him stand out because he's camouflaged.
Well, you should have seen the
No,
ones on the
that's
Worthy.
part of the
buddy.
fun.
I'm,
Yeah,
I'm sure I've seen some Man Things that are impressive.
But he looks cool. He's a swampy
Alright.
guy, and he's not just a man in underwear, which is
I'm
like
so surprised you guys didn't stick with
literally
big model.
Oh,
more than half the
Right,
models.
number
But there's
6 answer on
too
the
many big models.
board: the apartment building.
There's no fucking way.
No, yeah,
Fuck
I'm kidding. I'm
off.
kidding. I'm
Oh,
kidding.
It's Luigi's Mansion, isn't it? It's Luigi's Mansion.
Number
Everybody
6.
loves the Switch 2 is big right now. Everybody loves Nintendo. It's Luigi's Mansion.
Luigi's.
Oh, it
really
is
Oh, it was
popular.
Abomination.
Abomination. Yeah.
Oh, that isn't correct.
Yeah. I mean, I have quibbles on here. I can think of like several models. I think Hulkbuster Phoenix, iHulk, all belong on here.
Oh,
I also don't
Sure.
agree with this one, which is Lizard, which is number 4.
Lizard.
yeah, I
Why
don't
is it
agree with
lizard?
that either. I was
Uh,
debating Lizard and Mysterio in my head, with
But
my
he's just
one
a lizard.
pose
They
guess.
just like copy pasted exactly what a lizard looks like in real life. There's no creativity.
Still,
He's got a
Lizard
cool
is a-
water effect, kind of.
I
He's
know
got a
that was a
cool
joke.
water
He's-
effect,
He's
he's got a
wearing
cool
a lab coat.
he is well executed for what he is, but I think the real reason that he ends up on here is that with even like low level skills, you can make your lizard look fantastic. Like it is really easy to be like for lizard to be your best painted model in your case.
I also think
I
that
guess.
what benefits on top of what you're saying is that like I feel like he came out right when they really started stepping up their sculpt
Yeah.
game. right? So like at the time
Mhm.
he came out, he kicked the shit out of a lot of models, and now their sculpting has just gotten so good that I don't think Lizard hangs, but people remember, like the Lizard's a thing people say is a good sculptor gets remembered that way, because he was head and shoulders above a lot of models the day he came out, but that was also like 10 years ago.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, Abomination, fuck off. He's just big. It's not that good.
I mean, it's good, but I don't think it's better than Rhino. Or MODOK too.
I agree.
Yeah, I think just the MODOKs are just too unpopular to hit here, but I think the MODOKs belong.
The one I wasn't
What
sure
are
about
MODOKs,
wasting
like,
my
iconic?
guest on was Valkyrie and Elendil. I think if we do this question a year from now, I could see Valkyrie and Elendil being on the list.
Yeah, I also think Warriors 3 has been like one of my favorite paint jobs I've done. I had such a good time painting them. All right, so we're back.
The only round that matters.
Yeah. We're
win all
back
points
to
back.
Nate and Alex. Double points, so that you guys stand a chance.
Hooray.
Okay.
Nate and Alex, fingers on the buzzers. Here we go. We asked 100 Marvel Crisis Protocol players, what is the most annoying thing someone can do at the gaming table? Alex.
Complain about dice.
Number 2 answer on the board. Complain about dice.
Good answer.
They're
Yeah.
8.
I don't know what would be definitively more annoying than that, though.
I have a guess, but
Yeah, that's a little
I ain't helping
Well,
because I want to keep my win streak going.
Well, you get to guess to try to steal.
Yeah, don't you get to try to steal?
Oh,
Like,
right,
I was
steal.
vamping for you.
Oh, that's right. I was waiting for Pat. How many people said
16.
complain about dice?
16. Not that helps you, because who knows if these add up to 100.
Oh, that's true.
Well, it's more than 16, probably. How many?
I hope it's more than 16.
How many answers are there total? Sorry, Vince.
8.
Okay, that could add up to 100, though it kind of is not bullish.
Well, it's got to add up to 65 or we're screwed regardless.
Does this add up to 65, Vince?
Let's find out. I'll get back to you. Why don't you hit me with one of them hot answers?
Sure. What about smells bad?
Smells bad.
Or hygiene issues or whatever.
Bad hygiene, number 4.
Okay,
With
so we keep it then.
Yeah, you
8
keep.
answers.
This is finally just a question about like playing these games in general, and not about Marvel.
Yeah, there's nothing
or-
Marvel specific about this. You
Yeah.
can just fucking.
Although maybe
think
some of
about
these
Guild
answers-
Ball events.
Some of these answers might be Marvel specific.
Oh,
but
that's
so far
true.
They haven't been.
Oh yeah, like if you fucking count down with your health instead of count up.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Whoa.
That would be what I would put there.
Wow. You mean count up with your health dials?
My answer would actually just be 2 of my friends.
There are
and do them
71.
differently. I don't really care which one is which. I just want them to be the same. But anyway.
B Vince.
All right, Pat. We should keep this, right? I think we can do a few more of these, probably.
Yeah, sure. I don't know. Let's.
All right. So then it's Pat.
All right. I guess I'm thinking. Can you repeat the question?
What is the most annoying thing someone can do at the gaming table?
I'm gonna go with cheating for $500.
Cheating, number 1 answer on the board.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't think about that. I guess
Yeah,
for
that's a
some
good
reason
one.
in my head, the construction, like the most annoying thing somebody can do at the gaming table, outlawed cheating, because like on some level you can't do that, but I guess you can. You can do that at the gaming
Yeah.
table. You're not supposed to.
I've seen it.
Yeah, yes, I have too. Okay, that's fair enough. That's fair enough. That's a good answer. Okay, cheating, complain about dice, and bad hygiene. I guess I'm gonna go with like, because I think some people really hate this. I'm gonna go with like scoop or surrender or something like that. Oh, wait. Sorry, let me rephrase that to be more precise. Let me just say rage quit instead. I think that's probably more likely to have been one of those answers.
That's not going to be on the board.
Really? Damn. Okay.
That's wild. I thought.
People love that.
People love the rage quit.
Vince loves it. Specifically.
Yeah, there's some catharsis. There's some Schadenfreude.
Okay, how about slow play?
Slow play is not going to be on.
Wow, we got some.
Damn.
I complain
casual
about that
gamers.
too much. Yeah, but
Every week.
Yeah, it would have been on there
Almost
if we
every
asked
week.
this
Yeah,
after
yeah.
this episode.
I literally did it today, and I didn't even play Marvel today.
Okay. Damn, this is tough that neither of those were there. Takebacks? Like, do a take back? I don't know how to phrase that succinctly, but like, I think that's my choice.
Number 3 answer on the board. Ask for a take back.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
With 16. Or, sorry, with 10. Can't count.
How about like sloppy measurement?
Sloppy measure.
Unclean play?
Sure. I'll give you disorganized tokens / cards.
Damn it.
Generous game
I
master.
was sitting on that one.
What number is that? It's
8. Sorry, it's
you're-
number 5 on the board.
disorganized
weeds.
tokens.
God damn it. You rushed me. You rushed me. Yeah,
Disorganized.
it'll be fine. You're going to be making fun
Disorganized
of
tokens.
nothing when you see the video. All right? It's going to be spelled right on the video.
Damn. Yeah. What are the last 3 if they're also not rage quit / scoop? Oh, people hate this. How do I say this? Like loom over the table, lean over the table, loom. I don't know what people say, but
I'm going to... That's a strike.
damn. All right.
Oh, damn. All right. Well, it's close to that, but not that.
Don't read anything into me. I'm
No,
taking
I know.
business.
All
All right, Nate for the steal. You got 3 answers left on the board. 6, 7, and 8.
What was the other wrong answer besides rage quit?
Was scoop? Yeah, rage quit / scoop.
Yeah.
A loom
Pat.
over the table.
And
Uh-huh.
then what did Pat say that was wrong, or or were all 3 of the
No,
strikes
I
made?
do think I got one. I don't remember anything about what I just
Jesus
did.
Christ. Oh wait, no, unclean measurement.
Yeah,
you
I
were
snuck
given.
that one through.
Jesus Christ. Brain doesn't fucking work.
Our brain is
four,
mush.
4 dudes, no brain. Listeners, can you comment really quick and tell us what the last
DM me
miss
on
was?
Discord
Rewind.
right now. Wait,
Yeah.
no, fuck. Whatever. Okay.
Well, if you say it, I think we'll remember. that
Yeah,
that
it's,
was
I'm not
already
too worried
said.
about it.
Yeah.
Can you read the question again for me too, so I can stall longer?
What is the most annoying thing someone can do at the gaming table?
I don't know the phrase, but like a third person watching your game, or like a person interrupting your game.
Backseat driving. Yeah.
That's what you're going with?
Yeah.
It's going to be a strike.
Nice. We got
All
some
right.
points.
Yeah, you guys got
not
some
enough
number
to
of
catch up
points.
We
with
got
us,
not
that's
quite
okay.
enough points.
Yeah, but that's okay.
Well,
We
you
get
get
skunked at
double
least.
points. You do.
All right.
No, double points we still don't.
So
That's
it's
62 points.
Very
on the board.
close. Yeah.
Oh, I'm bad at math.
62 times 2 is not more than
130.
130.
I'm learning this now.
all right.
How about being all up in your phone?
All right. Normally you reveal these from bottom to top, but I think it's funnier here to do it top to bottom. So number 6
trust
on the
you.
board is the one I feel bad about maybe not giving you, which is get mad about the game.
Oh.
Which is like when
yeah,
it was
no, I don't think
Scoop
you should have given that to me.
versus
I agree
rage
that
quit.
that's- No, it's not rage quit. Those are 2 separate things. Though
I think if he started with rage quit, I would have given it to him. But since he started,
No, I think you were fair. Those are 2 different
Yeah.
things. Lots of people get mad at the game all the time and never rage quit, and lots of people
yeah, Vince.
quit without getting mad. So,
Yeah.
Well, they profess to not be mad.
well, yeah, they you don't put it in the paper that they're mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad. Number 7, count health remaining.
Wait, that was actually on there.
Really?
That's really funny. Get fucked.
Fuck.
Get fucked. Whichever one of you does
Okay.
that, I still can't keep.
How about using dials? I
Pat,
hope
or
that's
sorry,
on here.
Vince is the one who counts health remaining, and everybody gets mad. And I bet those 2
It's not-
people live in Sacramento.
I think so. I think those 2 people are Carl voting twice.
Well, no, it could be Ron because he uses the same thing you do, but counts the correct way.
He does not count the correct way. He's using my invention. He's using it wrong.
Yeah.
And by my invention, I mean the thing I tricked Rellinger into inventing. All right. And then number 8 answer on the board, making sound effects for the models as they play.
What? No, that's based.
Yeah, that's all. This is the
I
highlight.
don't even like Marvel.
Pat, did you answer the
Everybody-
survey?
No,
Matt, are you telling me you didn't like my Kershwang sound effect earlier when we were talking about Magneto? That's so fucked up.
that was fine because we're not playing the game.
Oh, you wouldn't like it if I said Kershwang to you during the game. Yeah, fair enough.
Well, as long as
we
you
would know that I answered the
like
survey
once or
if I
twice
said-
is funny.
If I said singing the Cucurico Village theme,
Huh?
So Poulos once
For
an entire day of playing Marvel went bum 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 bum. Every single time he was thinking about what he was doing on his turn. It was stuck in my head for a week.
I've done exactly what Poulos has done, but only in my own head. I think it was an LVO where every time I just had fucking the Super Mario Sunshine, this town theme stuck in my head 24/7.
Delfino Plaza,
yeah, that one.
Huh. All right. Well, this was actually a close game. At least Nate wins 130
Yeah.
to 124. Let's go.
Heck yeah, they need those
We're
double
getting-
points.
We do need those double points. Actually, we need a triple.
All right, guys. I think with that, we've been a size 3 taco truck.
Hooray!
We did it.
It felt
did
very unison to me, which means, and I felt like I went early. Concerns
I thought
me.
it was a little
Concerns
early,
me.
Never been a problem before. It's not going to be a problem now.
How would you ever know if it was a problem?
Was it a problem?
Huh? I mean, I had major problems with it last time. I don't remember what the actual issue was. Oh, I know what the issue is. Is that like my computer's ability to keep time
Oh,
is
yeah.
like significantly fucked.
Yeah.
Time's all
Yeah, but-
relative.
Isn't the whole reason that we use a website that our computer is not keeping the time? The website is.
No, because the issue is that like my computer's version of a second is different from your computer's
Ooh,
version of a
mysterious.
It's like the frame rate of his audio
Yeah,
is different.
that's like my
than
car.
ours.
My Honda Civic's clock is slow, like not like behind on time, but like drifts slowly. Like it
Yeah.
loses like a minute every month or something like that, and I have to keep resetting it.
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like what my computer is doing, but then that's like baked into any audio that comes out of my machine.
That's why we're doing it at the end, so like you have the beginning and the end, and you can
Yeah.
make them line up. Again.
I did I solved it by using rate stretch largely. Like where I like
Mm-hmm.
I'm being played back at like 1.00012 or something like that.
Yep, that seems like the thing.
And like I already talk kind of fast, so it'll just be normal.